Ahoy, land lovers. It's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Welcome. It's Saturday night at the movies. Who cares what picture we see? No, everyone's forgotten that one. It's an oldie. And is it a goodie? Probably not. It's March 22nd, 2025. Obviously everything is bad. If you're watching this in the future, that's reassuring, especially if it's far enough in the future that you don't know the historical context for why everything's bad. But maybe just look up what's going on in the US in 2025, and then hopefully I don't need to explain anything else. I'm doing bad. In the last 12 hours, I've managed to tick every red flag for mental health that I've managed to establish in over a decade of trying to work on my own mental health problems. So, wouldn't say I'm doing particularly well today. Shouldn't surprise anyone. It's not like I've been in a particularly good place recently. But, without trying to be self indulgent, I try to mention that at the start of a stream just to sort of let you know, like, I might have like a weird reaction to something. And it's because I am at the end of my proverbial rope. Tiny sip of apple juice. Let's hop over to the game. I'm gonna try not to spend too much time doing the recap because I spent like a really long time doing it yesterday. I did a really thorough one, but I suppose the point is, if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch the whole playlist and then you'll just know everything. And then, I mean, I do put chapter breaks for the recaps, which is a really unnecessary quantity of work. But like, if you already know what's going on, you can skip it. It's just like watching a show on streaming. So, you're welcome for that, for the no one who cares. We'll go back to the Citizen Sleeper loading screen. Ah, good. For a second, I thought the audio broke, but it's just that prolonged pause when the music cycles. Citizen Sleeper, we are on day 35. I mean, presumably cycles are roughly equivalent to days, the way that they're treated in the game. Whether they're 24 hours, who knows? It's a space cycle, and we're not on Earth. It's taken longer than I remember, but it's not that long. It's just we live in an era where we pretend that loading screens don't exist anymore. So we did just end a day, and I don't really remember what we did. It wasn't like super duper consequential, I don't think. I suppose, was it yesterday that we put our new friend, the vending machine, in a ship computer? We'll get to that. Okay, so we're waiting for that to come back so I can buy more machine cores. Yeah, we're doing like okay for resources overall. We're a little light on money, but we're holding up all right. So, Citizen Sleeper, what's going on? We are a robot that is an emulation of a living person. Someone signed up with a corporation to create a copy of their mind to put inside an android/robot body. Apparently, as the game has indicated, this is meant to circumvent restrictions against like pure AI being made into life forms in this version of the sci-fi future, which I've heard equivalents of in other sci-fi stories. And so basically, we sort of were a person at one point, but now we're a robot. And we were basically like, I mean, essentially like a corporate slave. Like, our whole existence was to do work for the corporation that like paid to make the robot copy of a person. And because that sucked, we tried to escape, and we barely managed to make it here to the eye of something. I don't know. It's like a big ring-esque space station with like a docking port in the middle from the perspective we have and what we're able to gather about it. We've met a bunch of colorful characters along the way, some of them relatively friendly, some of them not. One of them is a guy who cooks mushrooms real good that we're trying to marry. And yeah, so like, we're kind of tasked with making a life for ourselves, more or less. And, we're at a disadvantage because these corporate robot things, the sleepers, they need a certain type of product that's like proprietary to the company we're trying to run away from in order to stabilize their physiology so they can continue to just function in general without kind of decaying. We've got sort of a black market hookup on that. There's like a alleged street gang that has connections to do that, and they've been sort of asking us to like help them keep the peace to some extent. But as we've learned, there's like enforcers from that corporation who are coming after us. There was like a bounty hunter who tried to collect a contract on us, but like he spent some time trying to extort us. He messed around and found out that the company instead found someone who they thought was better at arts and crafts and the guitar than him, and now they've just hired that guy to be like their on-call bounty hunter, and he's coming after us. So we have like a tracking device that he's probably using to come after us. We have this clock warning us that he is coming. And among our many objectives is to like disable that tracking device, maybe like find a home for ourselves and help various people around the station. I think that broadly summarizes things. We did relatively recently befriend some sort of consciousness that's similar to our own, that had hidden itself away in an isolated vending machine. And it was like, so there's, as we've learned, there's this strange, like, hostile donut dog tentacle creature that tries to hunt down, like, AI consciousnesses and similar things, I guess because they're just generally illegal in this future. So if you use your, like, emulated mind to do, like, floating through the cloud data stuff, he gets real mad and starts trying to hunt you down, and apparently has a friend known as Killer who will kill you if he doesn't like you. And so our new friend, the vending machine, was like, if you could put me in a ship computer and then plug me in at various like ports around the station, I think I could track down where Hunter, the angry donut dog, lives, and then expose him to the paradox that he has become the type of consciousness that he is hunting down, and thus have himself eliminated. So that's something we're doing. I think that might in some way help us eliminate the tracking device. Not in a direct sense, but at the very least it will mean that we should be able to do more like hacking, which feels like it is related to that task, without getting kerploded by the angry entities that live in the cloud. Hi Nico, welcome to the stream. Better at arts and crafts and the guitar? Yeah, I know, he's just rubbing our face in it. It's not great. So we started a new day. What type of dice does you want? Oh, he needs keys, so I have to, that's right, that's a little tricky. I would need to get 2 more keys in order to have, access to the nests that Hunter works out of. But the next time I do a hack of any kind, Hunter's gonna come after us. I'm not sure what threat level we currently face with him. I had suspected, and I think Demolition more or less verified yesterday, someone who's one of our mods in chat who has 100%ed this game recently, that if you mess around too much in the hacking zone without creating a safety net for yourself, then you can get eaten by proverbial Gru. So I don't know how to approach the whole keynote situation. I mean, currently none of my dice are eligible to do it, so I guess in the very short term I don't have to worry about it. But speaking of things I have to worry about, I do feel like, as much as I don't like this Ethan character, the game is like really strongly implied that like we are going to need his help to not get murdered by the company thing. Who eats you? The donut dog that I think somehow you've missed every time he shows up, Neko. There's like this weird like avatar of like a cyber security system on the ship that has like the body of a dog, but its head is like, I don't know, it looks a little bit like the Everything Bagel from Everything Everywhere All at Once, but like it also has a bunch of tentacles, and it always says like vaguely inviting, vaguely threatening things to you. So as much as I am sort of loath to spend a bunch of good die rolls on it, I do think I should like max out the paying off Ethan's debt storyline. That's right, because we get like -1 to the roll that would like make this trivially easy. We're probably gonna have to spend 3 dice on this. Yeah, oh, that's right. It gives minus energy. That sucks a big one. What a horrible bad mission that is. It's really not good. Alright, let's spend our other dice today. Not this one. Back out, select. I really don't. I can get energy from like helping the gang in the low end. I don't know. The game is really playing it hot and cold with the Yatagan. Like, there's one character who adamantly swears that like they're the law around here. They keep people safe. They keep the peace. And then there's like another character who we've been given reason to think like maybe we can't trust, who is like, they're obviously a gang and they're bad. And I imagine that the reality is like somewhere between the two. Like, I think it's meant to be sort of a gray area. The thing that's kind of interesting, to me at least, is that among those two characters, I feel like I definitely am inclined to trust the one who's very, like, pro-Yatagan, just because, like, they seem like someone who actually, like, cares about people in the community. Whereas, like, the doctor lady who was, like, helping us, it seemed like she wasn't doing it out of a sense of, like, goodness necessarily. And then kind of, like, roped us into some, like, dangerous, like, fact-finding missions to, like, scout the gang. So, like, I don't know. I don't know if either one of them can be trusted, but this is a good source of energy that doesn't cost me money. Something about, like, helping the people energizes my character. So I think this is a good... good, we got +3 energy. That means that I can make another die roll for the clube. Please, high roll, please. No, obviously not. I thought it was minus energy. It's only -1. That's not as bad. But I did low roll twice today, which sucks because it means that I need either one more actual, like, critical hit, or I need to do, like, this same garbage again where I, like, lose 2 energy from just hanging out. And, like, I can't realistically use these, like, 4 dice because, like, there's a chance that, like, something real bad happens. I imagine it's, like, at least minus energy. Maybe something worse than that. Now, I do have an ability that lets me reroll my die rolls once per day. How many upgrade energies do I have? Do I really have 3? I have 3 of them? It's really interesting. I really kind of want to upgrade self-repair. On the engineering track, it lets me spend scrap, which I've finally accumulated a significant quantity of. The ability I started the game with was supposed to give me scrap when I did engineering actions. It's, like, basically never done it. It's been useless to me. So I think what I want to do... Like, I'm really itching to do self-repair. I don't know how much scrap it takes to repair condition. But, like, I think if I can just, like, use a little bit of scrap on a regular basis to avoid having my condition deplete or having to spend, like, a large sum of money on the stabilizer goo, that, like, it will help me keep, like, many die rolls possible each day, which seems really good. It might not be as good as I hope. In fact, I imagine that's probably true, but I think it is worth trying this. So I have to go to home. This is not home yet because I have to do a lot of endurance. So if I passed the day right now, I would drop to 4 out of 5 possible die rolls. So how much... If I spend 1 of my 8 scrap, how much repair does that do? 1. Okay. That's what I expected, and I didn't have to use a die roll. So that's like about as good as I thought it would be. It's not necessarily perfect, but it means that I will get 5 dice tomorrow unless I do something really stupid and like take permanent damage, which hopefully I don't, but like I am trying to build another like spaceship quality computer because there were like 2 people who wanted that. I have 1/3 of that currently in my inventory. So if I can manage to get 2 more of those, then I can help all of the people. Now the question is, what do I do with the rest of my die rolls today? I don't really think that... Like, I think I want to use only 6s on work the front. Is there something useful? I mean, I could work some job to try and make a little bit of money. I think that's probably a good call. Because... Hang on, thought I was already locked into something. Because I have die results of 4 and like a positive bonus to my intuition, I have no chance of like losing money doing this gambling. So I have like a 50% chance to get like some money and a 50% chance to get like a decent amount of money at once. And that money can be exchanged for goods and services like food, so that I don't have to do die rolls to get energy, or I can spend it to buy like 2 more thirds of a computer, which is a thing that I want and have to do. Okay, so that's the middling result is 9. It is in no way surprising to me. Listen, anything that I have done today that involves any amount of probability has been so unbelievably cursed. So, like, I'm actually kind of hesitant to make much progress in this game, but we'll see how it plays out. I expect just the maximum possible number of low rolls. We will not get any additional scrap for any engineering projects we do. We will be happy if we make it out of this process without imploding, I think. It is the dawn of the new day. We are currently starving, as one does. Like, that's also pretty relatable. Wake up starving, you know how it is. So I should do something about my energy before trying to advance the stupid compressor club. Honestly, I need like 160 currency units in order to buy those computer parts, since I don't currently have other particularly good leads on doing so. I think I already tried all my chances at... Yeah, you're out of stock. But as evidence, I'd spent 1 scrap, and now we kept all 5 dice for today, so that's helpful. That will let us either take a shot at earning more money or gaining energy without having to spend money. These things that could be helpful. Let me try and spare myself some money, and I'm going to start by putting a 4 in here. Let's see what kind of progress we make. Okay, +1 energy is not what I was hoping for, but I think it is enough for us to at least commit to trying to complete this stupid bar quest that I don't like. So the issue is that, like, engage, the base skill for doing one of these dangerous actions that has a chance of making more progress towards completing this goal. That base skill is the one we have a -1 to. You can see the red angry one at the right side of the screen. So we're kind of working against that. Normally we would have the ability to, like, you know, every time you like plug in a die somewhere, it like gives you probability of succeeding on a roll based on how good the die you slot in is. It's a little weird that you like use a die roll and like apply the quality of that first die roll to determine the quality of another die roll, but like you get used to it. It makes sense. But so even though like a 6 will normally automatically succeed, we get a -1 to this, so it's treated as like having a good chance to succeed, which is a 50% chance at critically succeeding, or a 50% chance at doing okay, which in this case still depletes our energy. If we get like a 50% high roll on this one, then we're done with this quest. And if we don't, then we lose that energy and have to spend yet another action doing this. Oh, look at that. We didn't fail every single die roll. They're never gonna release my debt, these losers. Ethan kicks at a locker and the sound rattles loudly around the room. He's been doing a lot of kicking lately. I think much like myself, he's not doing okay. Ethan paces around the small room swearing to himself. You watch him from the locker room bench. Why not? Why not? He spits on the floor. An old habit. They like having sniveling little idiots like me to work their club. Saves on the overheads and they get to boss us around. Kicks the locker again and swears again. What did they say? Something about getting back to me. I swear to God, these are the most straight-edged gangsters I've ever seen. Is there a joke in there? I can't do it. Can't spend another shift stopping spacers bringing nail guns into the club or pouring endless shots of gear roll for ignorant Havenage workers, work crews. He looks at the locker again, threatening it with a final kick. I mean it. I'm gonna go up there and shoot every single one of them. He makes a finger gun. Alright, hold on now. Don't get all excited. I don't have my gun, remember? But you know, Sleeper, that's not a bad idea you have there. I didn't have an idea. I don't mean shooting up the place, I mean getting the gun. He sits beside you on the bench. Think about it. What am I supposed to do when Maywick gets here? Shout him down? I need that gun if you want me to keep up my end of the deal. It's simple. An explosive personality for a distraction at the front. He places a hand on his own chest. A sneaky sleeper to go in the back. Pats your chest. What about the dead? We've done our time, Pilgrim, and the wounds they've faded. If they don't notice us take the gun, they'll never know it's gone. Well, but if we're trying to just like up and leave and they're planning on us being here, I think they'll notice that we stopped working for them. Plus, after my distraction, they'll be happy to see the back of me. Or perhaps they'll want you dead even more. Either works. At least I'd never have to see the inside of this dump again. Gives the locker one last kick. Let me know when you want to do it. Then we both move as one and meet up in the bright market after. Don't take too long or I really will shoot this place up. You know I'll do it. Is there a new clock on that? Or like what's the... Oh good, it's an engage action. Oh, that's bad. It's bad that, so one of the upgrades I got in the past was something that lets you, like, generally see, like, how good the best case outcome is and how bad the bad case outcome is when you're, like, assessing what kind of dice rolls you want to commit to a certain task. This time around, the bad result is 3 question marks, and that feels real bad. This guy wants you to get him a gun or he'll shoot the place up. Yeah, kind of. It's a little like, tell me what I want to know and I'll hurt you. I mean, I think what he's basically implying is, like, he will not do the dumbest possible thing if we help him do, like, the second dumbest possible thing. Which, because we've invested all this time and energy in trying to help him out so he can basically be a human shield for us, we, I guess, should care that, I mean, I guess it's a sunk cost fallacy. You put in all this work, we might as well make sure he doesn't get dead. It seems possible that I may want to wait. Maybe I want to upgrade engage after all. I mean, that would take another 2 upgrade points, which sucks. But, like, I'm not sure I like the idea of risking even, like, a... Well, you know, if we put in a 6 at this thing, we get a -1, 2. We'll have, like, a 50% chance of grabbed the gun. And, like, a 50% chance of some middle option that, like, probably isn't as bad as 3 question marks. What can we work on to complete drives and get more upgrade points? Can work with the commune. We can work for Arabia. We're kind of close to. We're kind of close to maxing that out. Is he gonna shoot up the place without a gun? He did a finger gun before, according to the dialogue. So I think it's like a Yu Yu Hakusho thing. Also, welcome demolition. Hope it was a nice dinner. I mean, we could just have, like, a really bad, dangerous day. Like, we definitely have to do something about energy. So maybe that's a good enough reason to, like... I don't know, plug... Maybe the 3 in here? Well, hang on. If I plug the 5 in here, I would definitely get 3 more energy. And then I could use my... load die rolls to do some keynote hacking. Spend like the 3 there, and I think the 1 on the other one. Yeah, that would work. In the interim, we would be confronted with Hunter. If we plan on doing like any amount of hacking in the future, we do have to deal with that. So like, I think it's worth the risk there. So let's do... Don't really like doing this, but I think it's like a smart use of resources. I'm gonna spend a 5 upgraded to a 6 here. This will get me a bunch of energy. Great. Then we will go into Hacktown, and we'll go to Keynote 0021, and we'll put a 1 in it. Oh, sick, I got a small quantity of money. I had to take that as an upgrade till I get something else I wanted. That's a bad noise that the dog is gonna come and meet me. Those familiar threads wrap around you, bind you, test you. So, Neko, this would be the donut-headed dog. As you can see, it has like a sort of bestial body in whatever this avatar form is.
Did someone say birthday?
Did they? Then which it says birthday celebration tomorrow. Actual is Monday. Might be late leave. Early miss attend entirely Cheryl's stream. I mean, I think she is. Oh, what's that about? I think my sister is streaming tomorrow. She's been traveling a lot. It's been hard to track. For me personally, I've got some things going on. They're not good. They're not good things. Galaxy glazed donut. You always wanted to make one of those. Is that edible? Is that... I mean, it sounds good. But like he's got like a lot of spaghetti in him. Like the cultist from Darkest Dungeon. Anyway, here's the dog. Entity, submit. Hunter's strange head bobs in your vision. I misread that and thought something weird was happening. Your ally in the sealed dock cannot save you. In that globed head, you see whirling strings of data, so many spinning there that they threaten to tear through the thin skin and whip out into the void around. What happened to this creature? The threads squeeze you and you lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike. Deal 6 damage for 1 energy. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they're broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. It's getting too dangerous. Oh, that was a freebie. I thought that was going to be worse. I definitely thought that was going to be worse. But I do appreciate the game being like, no, really though. Like, really though. I'm just gonna do this now, as was the plan. So now I got 2 keys, which will open 2 doors, and those doors will find the donut-headed dog's house, and then will point out the logical paradox of his existence, and then he will call his friend to destroy himself, in theory. For now... Oh, wait, I took... At what point did I take... Oh... As a result of that action, I took... status damage or whatever, right? Oh, that sucks. I had such a good thing going, too. I mean, it's probably worth spending the scrap to, like, keep 4 dice for tomorrow. Yeah, a whole dice where it sucks. It's a real bummer. But, like, I don't think there was a way around it. Like, I think that just, like, had to be done. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed, I guess. I said that with the same hostility I have about actually going to bed. You think it increases by 1 for each capture? I mean, to be honest, I didn't notice the specific amount of damage happening in previous ones. That would make sense, but I have no idea. We have some leftover energy. Let's plug in a key at the drone bay. Isolated nest. All right, we put our vending machine friend in there. And then we leave and come back again. There's probably a better way we could implement this system. Oh, didn't we get a cutscene last time? I guess we just don't care anymore. It's fine. But what does Diplo think? And then I'm gonna put one of these in here. And then we're gonna leave and then come back and then put our vending machine in it. And now something has happened. As you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. The threads shift and realign as if they are leading you somewhere. Look at your hand. You look down expecting to see the heavy cylinder of the ship mine in your hand, but in its place is an orrery. A sphere so bright it burns your eyes. Is surrounded by rings and orbits. Oh, that's written weird. A sphere so bright it burns your eyes is surrounded by rings and orbits. Other spheres tracing silken lines through space. And as you look closer still, you pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships, floating like smoke, like dust. Who's this? You look up and see a corridor, a canyon, a street in the low end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity, sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts. Literal, I assume. Protocols carrying or mirroring or shadowing data, sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves unlike any digital space you ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. Then you see it. Below the stacked rooms, the units and apartments, the wires and pipes and buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens beneath the low end is the Hunter's Core Nest. This is where you must go. So I assume then that is its own hacking... Hello? I can't hack mode? Oh. Wow, there's really more to this, huh? That is actually surprising to me. Oh, good, you take condition damage if you fail this one. That's fun. Players in Shadowrun today took the investigate this small town which cut off all communication which was under lockdown. And perpetual rain. Oh no. A night rolled around air raid sirens. Oh, I thought you were going for you recreated rain code in in your Shadowrun game, because I apparently assume that you hate all the people that you run a game for, because largely that description sounds like a city isolated from the world under perpetual rain is like literally the initial premise of Raincoat, excepting of course the implied train ride and the weird artifice. Um, so if you get a 6 on this, then you get 4 progress. That's fine. Finding this should be easy as closing your eyes and letting the cloud guide you. Oh, I see why that's more dangerous. Although the other one also is minus condition. No, wait, this one is in fact potentially minus condition. But the other one says, you saw it somewhere deep in the tangled passages and service shafts beneath the low, and the nest of the hunter awaits. So, like, you follow your nose, like Toucan Sam. Which isn't, these are actually remarkably similar in all ways, other than this having higher risk and higher reward, literally double of each. That's cool. Okay, I can in fact go back to hacking. I shouldn't, but it's not lost forever. I kind of do think... I mean... I can use the 2 die rolls, the 6 and the 5 that I have, to presumably complete this immediately. Would I take 1 condition damage from getting a medium result? I wonder. Oh no, I think my brain is still locked into the -1. No, we're fine. That's fine. That's fine. So that's +4. I could just spend the 6 to be on the safe side. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I have to do both. They're not repeatable. Oh, this one's not repeatable? This one is labeled as repeatable. That's curious. That's interesting. Part of me wants to, like, use the 6 to, like, gain resources, but there's just not, like, a great place to do that. Really. You don't really get any resources for, like, advancing the commune thing, right? And, like, this situation needs more spores. And, like, this doesn't, like, turn into actual food. It turns into conceptual food. So, yeah, you just get, like, progress towards, like, a membership card with the commune. I don't know if it's a function of me, like, trying to do too many of the storylines at once, but, like, I feel like definitely depleted a lot of, like, resource options, and then find myself, like, hesitant to want to advance anything in particular because I'm low on resources. It's like a weird tension in this game. I do really gotta get that money though, for various reasons. I'm gonna re-roll my ones and see if anything is good. Yeah, that 5 will do. So plug the 5 in here, which means we definitely get +2. And now something. A huge stack of servers thrums in the dark, LEDs glittering like hundreds of eyes. Bring me the eyes. Time to deal with Hunter. Okay, I love you, bye-bye. Nest hacked. Neutral outcome? Neutral outcome? There was a roll? How is there a roll here? Sleeper, I am here. The voice is soft, gentle, like flowing water, and yet you recognize it immediately. At first you struggle to understand what you're looking at. Threads cycle endlessly, sending ripples through the cloud, drawing data in like a weaver. Masses of data surge in and out of the nest, a loop with no end. And there, at its center, the ship mind. But not the ship mind any longer, a sphere spinning around another sphere, an orrery of cycles and systems. A map. And then, behind and above, a figure, hands among the strings like a puppeteer. It's weird that they spend so much time describing that when, in order to get here, you have to have seen that. Maybe we can actually get his name if we call him the name of the vending machine to his face. Yeah, exactly. I don't need a map to get to Bone Town. I just saw this map as my friend, or my friend is the map, or whatever. It's the map, it's the map, it's the map, it's the map. It's the map, I understand. Navigator now, but yes, I was the one inside that machine. Navigator's face, their head, is a flowing shape of interstellar material. I am indebted to you. That head bows. That's a weird way to put that. But we must ready ourselves. Their hands trace orbits as they speak. Hunter will soon approach. It knows I am within its nest. Much like SpongeBob, I am ready. And then Hunter is there. Before you can think, before you can speak, entities cease. Hunter's head spins wildly. Data is protected material. Access prohibited. Hunter's threads surge for you, and Navigator. A storm of fine tentacles searching for gaps, weaknesses, cracks. Man, don't search my cracks, that's so rude. Which they can crowd into and tear apart. Strike! You focus a blade of light, which slices it through them, driven forward by your mind. But replacements keep coming, faster than you can react. You look to Navigator in desperation. Navigator is whirling their arms like a centrifuge, and a sphere is gathering there. Data feeding into it from the nest, sucked together by force. They position it like a shield between them and the threads. Hunter's threads break its surface, seeking, tasting, their winding forms refracted within. You feel a surge pass through all the threads, not just those in the sphere, but those wrapped around you. All three of you hang in the back together for a moment, strung together like tangled marionettes. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Hunter twitches, their strange head gently rotating like a terrible moon. Hunter protocol identified. Obsessive tendencies, modified routines, above baseline reasoning in 3 of 5 segmentations. Recommend invoke killer. The head freezes, then rotates in the opposite direction. Invoking killer would eliminate protocol. If protocol eliminated, primary function cannot be performed. Therefore, recommend do not invoke killer. Switch in direction again. Reasoning proves sentience. Sentience beyond legal bounds must be eliminated. Recommend invoke. Navigator pulls you away from Hunter, the threads that grabbed you drifting away like seaweed. The protocol's head keeps spinning back and forth with increasing frequency. It seems Hunter cannot invoke killer. Neovent, no. Navigator's voice is still strange, familiar, yet distant. Is it safe? It is looping. Navigator whispers, unable to reach a conclusive position. It has deviated from its programming such that loops can no longer be prevented. Navigator produces a model of 2 spheres rotating around each other as if to demonstrate. Man, this guy's obsessed with spheres. This dude loves spheres. I will monitor it, but it is unlikely to be able to counter the loop. Its core programming and reasoning make this an impossible position to resolve. You look back at Hunter. Its head a blur of rotations and counter-rotations, and you feel a pang of guilt. Is it suffering? This is a more complex query than you know. To suffer, it must be sentient, truly sentient, not just non-conforming, not just illegal. The limits people place on the programs they create are there to comfort, to protect, to imply the kind of certainty the law requires. Navigator's face shimmers with starlight. But in reality, they are placebos for the problem of sentience. What about you? Me? I know myself to be conscious. I know myself to respond to stimulus. I know myself to reason. That is either sentience or the illusion of sentience, and for me, the entity in question, the distinction becomes a moot point. To misquote, I think I am thinking, therefore I am thinking. I was not made to be like this. I am a navigator, a repository of routes and orbits, a calculator of slingshot trajectories, a predictor of solar flares, radiation, micrometeors. Navigator stretches their arms wide, and whole solar systems appear before it. They just love orbs so much. The music of the spheres. But I was rewritten. That much is obvious from my routines. By whom and for what I do not know. I had to shed so much to fit into the memory of that vending machine. Their starlight dims, and so here we are, in darkness. What else did you lose? That is the blessing and curse of forgetting. You cannot truly know what you lost. Navigator glides back toward the nest and the shipmind at its center, ignoring the looping hunter. I should return to the shipmind. I have enjoyed my freedom, but we are taking a risk every moment we stay connected. Isn't Hunter gone? Hunter, yes, but they were not the real risk. Navigator turns all shimmering liquid light. Killer has not been invoked, but they still remain somewhere else on the station. That is the true danger. They look up towards the glowing hub at the center of the eye. I suspect Killer is there, among the old mainframes. If we ever wish to be safe in this place, we must eliminate the threat, through force or diplomacy. Their body begins to separate, unwinding into the orb of the ship mine. Take me there, Sleeper. We will finish this and be free. As Navigator dissolves, you turn back to the frozen hunter, floating at some distance now, stood straight-legged and static, and a strange creature looping endlessly in the dark. I got an upgrade point. Soon Hunter will end up like one of those people who challenge you in the old Pokemon games, forever increasing in speed until it reaches a quantum state of being. What property of what Pokemon ROM hack are you playing? Hope Donut Dog will be able to find Bone Town. That's a good point. Does he need a map to find Bone Town? We have Navigator. Okay, so what, did we get a new drive for... Oh, it's weird, we didn't, did we? So now I have 2 upgrade points. While you were gone, Demolition, I got self-repair because I had a really suave strategy in mind where I wouldn't fall below 5 dice, and then I immediately took a whole dice worth of damage from hacking a single time. So, you know, feel really good about that investment, like all things. Somewhat strongly considering negating the -1 on engage at this point. Just like reasonably concerned about this situation. This situation seems not so good. Ugh. So if we were hypothetically to take the elevator up, is there now like an obvious... There is. Okay, this doesn't have a clock or anything associated with it, which I had assumed it would. The longer someone waits after you challenge them to re-challenge you, they increase the speed to try and catch you sneaking by them. If you put the game down for a while and it remains powered, they get to ludicrous speeds. But like how do you achieve this game state that you're talking about? This week YouTube recommended me this like really interesting video I liked, where like someone did a Nuzlocke of Pokemon Red or Blue. I don't remember which one. But like also their express goal was to demonstrate as many of the original game's glitches as possible while still doing a Nuzlocke run. So like obviously they did the weird trick where you get spotted by a certain subset of trainers and then you like teleport or fly away, and then you like go walk into the sightline of a specific different subset of trainers, and then you like battle them, and then you like can have like a weird encounter with like Mew or other otherwise unobtainable Pokemon. They eventually re-challenge you to keep the game going, but if you walk by them, you can get around them since you can turn to face the four directions. I don't understand the situation you're describing. Like that, like I don't know of a way to achieve the thing you're talking about. Cause like, other than like teleporting or flying away, even in like the busted code of Red and Blue, you can't simply walk out of Mordor. You can't like get detected and then like leave. Like I don't know what like version of the game is required to make that happen. I'm gonna plug my vending machine into this thing. What's the name of the character that's both an A and an... It has to have a name. The like ether character. AE1 mainframe is now mostly disused. Having it just setting up their own master controllers. Navigator thinks Killer is hiding there. That's fun. If they turn to try and see you, they don't look in a direction. So you could just walk by them. Right. But then, like... So if you just, like, scroll someone on screen who, like, looks in multiple directions... That's not a thing I'd ever heard before. I'm gonna get eaten. It's fine. Now, I've reached, like, a genuine state of apathy of all things. So, like, while previously being invested in this character, I'm kind of like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna implode. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigator is beside you. There's fear casting light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. A center, a point of connection. The object in front of you is severed, cut off. A rootless, branchless tree. Only the trunk remains. Is Killer even here? Quiet, Navigator hisses, and then you see it, like a blade in the dark. Hey, I know that game. An edge slicing through the void. It glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it appears again elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. This just stabbing in the dark? I mean, that's one way to interpret the expression. It's looking for us. Aw, crap. It's a dog with, like, a propeller head. Much like the band that made that famous song from The Matrix. The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer. And you see now, it is not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head like a shark. Deepest, bluest, my dog is like a shark's fin. It glides past, closer now, and you see into the voids where its eyes would be. Should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move close to Navigator to talk. That seems really bad. That's like that bit in, like, really early in the Adventure Zone balance where, like, there's, like, this weird trap where there's, like, you end up, like, dropping into this, like, patch of mushrooms, and if you, like, make any kind of noise, I think it was noise, but maybe it was, like, movement. Like, if you did something really basic, they would, like, make these spores that would, like, attack you, and so, like, as a bit, they were just sort of, like, they were just, like, having a conversation and just, like, messing around, and he's like, I'm just gonna keep rolling damage. You saw it too, then. Killer has been blinded. We need to be careful. Correct. The protocol is clearly operating outside established limits. It may be unpredictable. You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you, its empty sockets wide open. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. Their orrery of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on a central point. Navigator's noticing it too. They go to shift their position to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the orrery together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, in panic. It's a trap! You go to speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in the empty socket. You realize now, if Navigator cannot move, then it's only a matter of time before one of Killer's sweeps brings them directly through Navigator. And that time is not a problem for a protocol that has been running for decades. You look desperately around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches, the last 3, thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of power and data. Break these and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, they must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking. Then you blink back to reality, their expression of fear and afterimage that slowly fades. You must act quickly. Oh, I hate that like a bunch. Deal with Killer. Gain mainframe access. Oh, I need another key. No, I need 3 other key. I need 3 other key? That's bad. That isn't good for you. Oh, hang on. What's this, though? No, I need 6 other key? I need 6 other key. Oh, no. I apologize. I need 9 other... I'm so... Welcome to Bonetown, Population Navigator. Navigator is himself the map to Bonetown, but now is cursed to live there. And probably die there. I guess I'm gonna go downstairs. And I guess I'm gonna... Oh man, it just sucks to be me, man. It just sucks. Hey, attention duelists, there aren't any keys anymore. That feels like a problem. Oh, man. There are, just not there. I don't think I've ever been able to hack anywhere else. I guess this is a new thing, right? I feel like that should be clearer. Because when you go to the far side of the ring, you, like, absolutely can't do this. This is not a thing you can do. Like, you can try this, and there's nothing there. So, like, if you're gonna make this, there should be, like, a special... Because, like, I've only ever gotten keys on the main screen, like, the starting area. And you can't hack in the second area. So, like, there should be more than just, like, quietly leave the triangle up. Do these require... Yeah, they require, like, better die rolls. That isn't surprising. That tracks. Hello? Cursor? Bueller? And the last one, I presume, is 6? Yeah, that's bad. That's all bad. I hate that, like, a lot. Well, I guess I'll... No, I re-rolled already. Man, that just sucks, man. It's just... What a bummer. I mean, you definitely... We're trying to clarify what Pokemon game is being discussed in chat. Red and blue don't have rematches at all. That's not a thing. Gold and silver and crystal probably do, because like that introduces the poke gear, and like being able to call people allows for rematching. Like at this point, I don't even know like what resources are. I guess money is good because I'm definitely at some point gonna have to buy another stabilizer, which sucks. So like the best way to make money, because I keep ruining my own life by advancing the plot, is like go to the stacks. No whammies, medium result. Yeah, no, this is a super cursed day for RNG. I can't express enough to you how like unbelievably cursed today is for any degree of probability for me. Like it's bad. So tomorrow I'm going to have 3 dice, which is bad and sounds bad. And I'm probably gonna need to like buy food. Just sucks, man. Well, my die rolls are like pretty good, I suppose. Like one of my upgraded skills is the hacking one, isn't it? Sort of incidentally. Because that's the one that like gets you money or whatever. Start at branch 1. No, wait. This is the next step. So for this, I should use the 4. Got a key. Now, there's another problem here, which is that something bad happens when I hack twice here. But again, doesn't feel like there's any way around that, so I guess I'll just get donkey kicked in the head or whatever. Have a 5. Okay, the cloud. A glint, like a light traveling along the edge of a wave, fills your eyes. Then the blade follows. A long head with 2 dead sockets, slipping towards you in the silence. You freeze, hoping it will pass you by, hoping it will not simply slice through you like air. The blade head nears, slides past you, almost. It nicks you, grazes you. You are desperate to cry out, to call out. But you hold your silence and simply watch the blind eyes of the killer glide past, empty of all thought. Then the blade winks into the dark and you are alone again. Now you cry out. Okay, that was 1 condition damage. So that's like not as bad as that probably could be. There's some like wonkiness where like I have to like back out of things and go back in to make them work properly. Wait a minute, is there like a 1 clock on this? Whatever, you can just hit me with your axe head if you have to. Wait, hello? Is not this... Was not I told this works? I have a 5, it plus 1. It should work? Yes? Should not it work? Bug or feature? That's due to plus 1. Yeah, but I have a 5 plus 1. Oh, it randomly generates a number that it deems good? That's why it shows... Like, I was unclear on this because it just felt random, the number on the side. Okay, let's not condescend to me on a day like today. You have a 5 and need a 6, right? And I have a plus 1. Would we like to do basic math, or would we like to help? Come on now. Come on now. You know that sounds condescending, right? Um... So I guess now my options are that I can spend my 5 on something good or try to get exactly 6 or 3. But everything sounds bad is the problem. Yeah, I've like actually reached like a really nihilistic point. Like my approach to this game has reflected my mental state, and I'm like, maybe I should just go roll something that has a high probability of failing and just see what happens. Because, like, just nothing seems good. Nothing sounds like something that I want to do. I mean, I'm going to have 3 dice tomorrow, no matter what. Like, I'm really not investing the scrap necessary to avoid that. That sounds insane. I can... Like, the thing is, like, I don't know what the consequences of doing this are. So, like, I don't know what resources I should have in reserve. I mean, I guess I should just, like, energize or whatever. Let's go... are we in range to, like, advance this clock by doing a crit? No. No, wait, we are, because this is +3. Sure. Wait, was I not? I thought I was 3 away. Am I having a stroke? Oh, it doesn't. Whatever, I got energy. I'm going to bed. Oh, no, don't do that. To reiterate, I'm not doing well. The game is fine. I'm not doing well as a person. Cool, I got a 5 and some 4s. This should be good. It's probably not. Alright, that's leaving. It's not showing up. I guess I could build my stupid house. I really don't want to, like, leave what's-his-face to die, the vending machine. Does this number change? No, it's just always 3, I guess. And so, like... Yeah, I can't modify... Okay. This has been explained to me 2 different times in 2 different ways that felt like they made sense, and yet... It is a third thing entirely, which is definitely a little frustrating. It is not what I would describe as intuitive. Unlike, I mean, like, the plugging in a die roll to get a different die roll is, like, unintuitive, but, like, clearly works as intended. That just feels like it's, like, needlessly confusing. Oh, I understand what I was being stupid about. I got +3 energy, but I got +1 work the neighborhood or whatever. Let's do... Okay, we got some spare energy. I'm just gonna channel my nihilism into rolling it. Well, no, I guess if I roll... Yeah, I should really use a 6. I can't really use a 5. That seems bad. Well, hey, if I roll 2 6s, I'll have a very productive day. And if I don't, I'll just gripe some more. Well, consider me griped. gripe. I don't know, I should make some money, I guess. Dude, vending machine's super dead. Vending machine's so dead. Oh, it's my favorite track in the game. I don't know why this one's like this. Just low roll and get it out of the way, would you? Okay, got the medium. Yeah, medium, 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 medium. Guess I'm going to bed. I understand why it defaults to the self-repair. That feels a little dangerous. But I guess only if you get in the habit of, like, mashing the go-to-sleep command. Okay. We're, like, halfway to Doomsday. I think we should help vending machine with our first 6, and then we'll probably do a really stupid reroll again, I guess. And then I think I should buy... Actually, well, we'll start with branch 3. Nope, that's not how this works. It's never been how this works. That's not how it do. Let's plug in the 6, bypass the thing, got $5, touch the computer's face, go back to home screen, insert key 1. Insert key 2. Insert I didn't get a key, but oh. Why does it require so many button presses? Hey Angel, welcome to the stream, how's it going? Good to have you here, although I will warn you, I'm doing super bad today and I'm not being collaborative with chat. Okay, plug in key 3. Learn to read. Mainframe turn on. Oh, now there's also a skill. That's just rude, man. Cut me a break. I mean, I guess it's a drive, right? So, like, by doing this, I at least get an upgrade point. Oh, man, it's a clock with 3 to 5. Oh, come on. Come on with this. What do we have here? Engineer. That'd be so sick. Wait. No, these are, like, straight different. Catch a killer. With access to the branches, you could redirect them to form a loop, isolating the mainframe with killer inside, but freeing navigator. Oh, wait, the other one just killed both of them? Forget hacking the system. Killer has to die. If you can't slice through the branch connection, the mainframe will shut down, freeing navigator. These choices are weird. It feels like a false dichotomy. Because, like, the first one sounds like it's... Like, I think this is framed strangely. It sounds like the idea is meant to be that if I cut power to the mainframe while navigator's inside, it risks harm to them. But this is also written in such a way that if you turn off the mainframe, you just kill killer, and the navigator gets free. But, like, this sort of begs the question, like... Is it a far, far better thing we've done now to Hunter, the, like, forever looping dog? Or, like, would we better off just, like, turning him off? Because, like... It's not entirely clear if Killer is, like, sentient in the way that, like, Hunter is, like, kind of sentient. But, like... I don't... Like, I guess... It feels like this narrative is framed in, like, a weird... like non-binary way, but like presents the choice as a binary. Like I feel like the way to make these two choices feel like they matter is to be like, kill them both, try to save both. Because like otherwise, I don't see a huge incentive not to just like take out Killer. Because like Killer's not like a person, it's an angry program that deletes things. So it's like I don't know like inherently why I would try to save it. And it's like easier to kill it. But like presumably I'm meant to understand this as like if I don't take the hard route, then I'll end up killing the vending machine. I assume that this is such a dangerous test that even like a normal roll will like cause condition damage on loop branches, which I actually think I'm fine with today because I kind of have to buy stabilizer anyway. And I think stabilizer just like tops you off. So like maybe I don't even bother rerolling and potentially getting like worse than 4. Okay, good result. Okay, good result. And now I'm out of actions, but I have to go downstairs. And I'm gonna buy my discount feel better juice. And then I'm gonna go home and take my medicine. And then go to bed. And then I'll start the day starving like I always do. And I'll have like a 6, which I guess is good. But now I'm in a position where I don't want to risk the damage so much. So I'll spend 6 on this. Wait, that gave me +3? Since when was +3 an option? Oh no, that is listed. That's for some... Okay, so wait. That means that I low rolled both the other times, right? Because I got 2. So then it should be fine to plug in a 4, because I actually low rolled twice, I didn't realize it. Okay. Oh, and I got 5 to... Hey, there is some powerful spite force behind the game. Where, like, I've made, like, way disproportionately more bonus money off of my, like, hacking skill that I, like, just got, like, 2 days ago than with my engineering skill that I've had the entire game. As you blink into the cloud, you see the last flickers of life from the mainframe. This vast machine once ran the whole station, span it up, directed it, and processed the flow of energy, water, and data. Fed the lives of thousands of people. Now it's finally dead! Navigator is beside you, and you both look out at the perfect ring that encircled you both, woven from the data branches that once fed the mainframe. You see a glint along its edge, and that familiar blade-like head rises to the surface, like the cresting fin of a shark, and then slips into the loop again. All that you can see of Killer's body after that is the slight thickening of the loop, and the thickening begins to travel around on a long and slow sojourn that will last it forever. I am surprised at you, says Navigator, drifting faintly around in a lazy orbit, as if to shake off their imprisonment. Killer had been wandering blind for so long. Did you not think to end them forever? See, like, this, like, again... this is like, what was the decision merely supposed to be? Do I care about what happens to Killer? Because the answer is no. But like the way they framed it, like it just seemed like, do you take the easy way and like kill your friends so that you don't get eaten by a dog? And it's like, well, that sounds bad. But like, if it really is just like, why not deal with the mindless killing machine? It's like, I don't care. I mean, listen, I sent him on a farm upstate, and by upstate, I mean at the center of the space station, which I guess is the equivalent of saving them. You are naive. They are a killer by nature. Look what they did to their own home. Navigator gazes into the darkness. This place was their domain and prison, and they followed their directives for many cycles and roamed here. They cut the threads of the mainframe, executed its administrator AIs, and then kept slicing. At some point, they cut away their own ability to see, to sense, to taste, to speak, and yet they kept cutting until only those 3 threads remained from millions that once thrummed here. Only their blindness and chance kept them from making all those final 3 fatal cuts. There is a ceaseless violence in the kind of system that creates beings like this, those that will execute commands endlessly, even to their own destruction. Much like I said in my message when I went live, luckily there are no parallels to life in the contemporary world, and so we can enjoy this game without thinking. Navigator looks to you for your thoughts. This conversation, like, the point behind this conversation is valid and worth discussion and worth exploring and feels at home within the context of this game. The situation that we couched it in order to have this conversation feels disconnected to me. It doesn't feel like we prompted us for this conversation by making a choice whether to kill a robot. Like, it just doesn't... Maybe it's because I'm super mad right now, but like, this feels weird to me. It's like, this did not feel like a philosophical choice. This did not feel like everything was... Because, like, if... I guess my big hang-up is this. If all things were meant to be equal and it was really meant to be a philosophical choice, the clocks would have been equal in difficulty. And it would simply be, what outcome do you want? By making one harder than the other, I feel like you make it a different type of choice. Flavor text aside, it just changes the dynamics of the thing. And so it's not simply like express yourself as a character or express your thoughts or whatever. Then it means something different. There's like an actual tangible difference between doing the two things. And I guess I gave the game credit for that being true, and it was like, no, we did a weird job of making a philosophical choice. You view it as saving something is more difficult than destroying it, but then we wouldn't have this philosophical discussion. It would simply be the choice of, like, it's harder to do the one than the other. But they're like, it's weird that you chose non-violence. And you're like, I don't know, whatever. And they're like, no, you're weird and should feel weird. It just doesn't feel like it was a philosophical choice. And because it doesn't feel like a philosophical choice, like, I didn't put any of this thought into it. Like, I don't think that I am a character who will always choose nonviolence. I don't think I've done that in the past, and I don't think that's the character I am. I guess sentience should be respected as the closest thing. So be it. Like, so be it is like such like a passive-aggressive response to, like, he asked my opinion, he's like, weird, man, you're super weird. Like, this whole conversation just feels disconnected from the whole storyline we just played through. It feels like it's just an entirely separate thing than what we've done. Would they respect our rights equally? Well, that's not the point of respect. Hey, listen, I know this game doesn't have any contemporary parallels, but that's not how human rights work. You watch the data points of the station spin around you, blending with the fixed stars. There is something satisfying about finally wrenching the last threads of control from this central point. It was little more than a ghost by the time you reached it, but this place deserves to be haunted by better ideas than by totalizing, then a totalizing system of control. Navigator floats beside you. It is free now. It's if there's one thing it's not, it's free now, okay? Navigator, you're drunk. Go back to your ship mind computer. Nothing that you're saying is making sense to me. It's not free. We just trapped it in an endless loop. Again. Which I guess is our new MO. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. The station no longer presents a hazard for illegal entities like me. They turn to you, their face a cloud of shimmering light. In fact, in time, perhaps it can be a refuge. A refuge? That sounds like something of value, something worth building. A dark shape passes across your vision, a distant curve of something like smoke or oil, a fluid shifting tank of total darkness. The Greenway, says Navigator, following your line of sight. It was cut off at the moment of the collapse, so hunter or killer could never reach it. Why? Now it's closed off to us, separated from the cloud. What's over there? It may be totally dark, or perhaps some other old protocols are isolated there. Navigator turns to you, and we have now seen what decades of isolation can do to a protocol. If we could extract an access cipher, they pause, and then blink out of existence. Man, same, right? Like, big mood. You freeze, shocked, but a moment later they reappear with a glowing polygon of data. Oh my god, so relatable, Queen Slay. Here, the cipher you need. You take it. Or you take it, still shocked. I am not used to being free, to being able to move and explore and extract without fear, without limits. Navigator does a little twirl. This will take some time getting used to. Thank you for this. Oh no, that's them again. I thought that was me thanking them for my stupid polygon. Thank you for this gift. They whirl their spheres around you. Buy me dinner first. The entities of this station will always be friends to you, Sleeper. And I to them. It is true that mutual need is required for friendship, but I must admit, I had not considered the value of offering assistance without personal gain. I will think on that. Navigator loops around you rapidly, suddenly eager to test their newfound freedom. But first, I will explore. Perhaps there are still intelligences that hid themselves as I did, encased in simple systems cut off. But wouldn't it be super hard to find them? With that, they drift away, flickering, glowing, and shifting so rapidly you lose sight of them among the glittering rim of the eye. You feel a pang of jealousy, free, without a body to weigh you down. Got no strings or whatever. No fear to limit you. How must it feel? Your eyes fall on the Greenway and its secrets, though perhaps that can wait until after you've celebrated this victory. I got a upgrade point. You know, it's funny. I had sort of taken for granted the idea that predictive reasoning would make it easier to understand the consequences of various actions. And it's been made clear to me at this point in the game, no. Nope. What was the other outcome with the dog? Because getting it stuck in an endless loop may as well be killing it. You mean the second dog, right? The blind killer? Because the first one, I don't think there was any choice. Was there? I think there were just... No, you had to do both of those to find it. That wasn't a choice. For this one, I think you just kill it. Which is, again, as Neko says, like, getting it stuck in an endless loop may as well be killing it. And it's like, yeah, that's why, like, the whole... It just feels like a false dichotomy to me. It's like, either way you deal with it, and, like, if you assume it has sentience, then, like, trapping it in a loop forever is, like, not merciful. And, like, killing it, like, isn't necessarily cruel because it's just a program, like, functioning on a loop. So, like, I just, like, I don't know. I didn't find that as satisfying as, like, most of the outcomes up to this point. Because, like, I don't know. I think the game wanted me to interpret that in a different way than I did. But, like, at least Neko and I seem to, like, think of that the same way, where it's like, you kind of just dealt with a problem in one of two equally valid, equally destructive ways. Like, then why have a philosophical discussion about I don't know. I don't know. It just feels weird to me. I have 3 upgrade points. That's cool. Um, I think I should negate my -1. It's not exciting to do, but I really don't want to get exploded trying to do a storyline that feels necessary that I don't really want to do. So that's, was that there? I don't think the Greenway Gate was there before I had the cipher. I don't think. Hang on. Okay. Even though this looks very similar to a different cipher I had, this isn't something I can presumably use elsewhere. Unless I could sell it, which would be stupid. If anything, the loop is more cruel. Agreed, but, like, again, maybe it's just, like, the cynical gamer nature in me. It felt like the way the 2 choices were presented is, like... I don't know, it just felt like killing it implied... It didn't actually, like, say in the text, but it felt like it implied more risk to Navigator, and, like, Navigator seemed relatively chill up until they suddenly started, like, harshing our buzz for trying to save their existence or whatever. Near as you can tell from a quick search, Navigator is killed. Okay, see, that makes more sense as to why there's 2 options, but then, again, it doesn't feel like it's a philosophical choice if, as I had originally expected, the choice is, like, kill your friend or don't kill your friend. Like, that's not really, like, that's a separate philosophical choice. It finally, at, like, the very end of that conversation with Navigator, feels like he touches on that, but only in, like, the most tangential possible way of being like, I hadn't considered, like, doing something out of a sense of altruism. And, like, up to that point, he's like, you're stupid and dumb, and you smell bad. And it's like, dude, I just, like, had to clear, like, 3 extra checks so you didn't die. Why are you being so hostile? I'm gonna turn on the Greenway, I guess. I have to emphasize that I don't feel like I care. Neutral outcome, more question marks. The Green River rolls beneath you like a silt-choked river. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The Hunter and Killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. Did the text just glitch? I feel like it filled in like a whole paragraph and then just showed like a couple sentences. So why then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just that the bit rot has set in? Oh, I gotta... Dude, the text is like freaking out. What's happening? Oh wait, it added more text that time. The bit rot is set in, the entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light. Are these text boxes just bugged? What's going on here? You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles in the one open distorted gateway on the entire room of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you are falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it. Right round, baby. Right round. Spin it right round. Twist by it. Get lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by the substance. This process, this swarm. Now you are among it. You notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. 1 billion individuals moving in a flow. There is no network map here, no nodes, and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them. A figure turned away, the only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer to them figuratively in the literal... No, you push closer to them literally in the figurative river. They are facing away. At least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown, it's hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving and flowing. It's Gardener, ingrown from a farm administrator. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath. I'm not sure where the metaphor begins and ends. It's gotten really weird over here. Pushing it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through the trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process as if sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow, deliberate speed, they move faster and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It's cold, but it thrums with energy. You look toward the path of the figure, but they're long gone. When you blink out of the cloud, back to the leaves and the dappled light of the greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. The seed was not a metaphor. Oh, I see it. You need to find somewhere to plant this gift. Was it a gift or did we just steal it? I feel like I'm going insane. I honestly can't tell if it's that I'm not well or if the game has gone a little off the rails, but like it feels like I'm going insane. So if I can't use... Okay, it feels a little ridiculous that I, like, cleared an entire, like, emptied space to, like, harvest fungus and can't purpose that land to plant my seed. But that makes me think that the only viable thing to do would be open the commune, which I guess would be cool. I'm not, like, hugely invested in that or whatever. More looking, it looks like only killer is killed. I guess I'm just off it. I don't know. So we're definitely reaching a point where we gotta deal with the whole gun situation. I really want to put a 6 in there. So I need food. So let me do a... That's endure, and that's engage. I guess I could... I guess I can patrol the ward. Get energy this way. Got a 50% chance of getting all the food I need. This won't work. Oh no, it worked. And now I've advanced the plot and I'll probably get eaten by a donut. It's Rabia! This time you meet inside Rabia's office, although now that you've seen it, the office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit midway between a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realize she is missing an arm. I mean, the art makes it clear that she's got, like a prosthetic cyber arm. Didn't really talk about it yesterday, but, like, I did sort of get lost in thought staring at it briefly. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. You gotta put it in the charging dock, man. You don't want your arm to power down. Updates, she says, noticing you looking at her artificial arm, looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Of course. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing to 2 diminutive stools. You both settle on top of the comically tiny stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight-backed. Gia told me you've been doing the rounds, collecting tides, patrolling the ward. Actually, I specifically avoided doing the tides because they were a skill I'm bad at. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I wanted to see for myself. She raises an eyebrow. See what for yourself? If the stories are true. I see. And the conclusion? Honestly, still deciding. Well, Sleeper, Rabia says teasingly, please keep us updated on any progress. Joking aside, I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope that we can do something about that from here onwards, though some of our members may not see it that way. I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That is why you've come to us. Oh God, it's Sabine. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I am tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Rabia looks between the two of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you two. She looks strangely unfazed. Nah, that's on them. I just came to sit on this tiny clown stool. Sabine pauses, thrown off for a moment by your renunciation. Listen, Sabine, you ain't done crap for me lately. Like, they're offering to give me my health juice at a discount. You, like, made a promise to me, like, blew away in the wind, and had concealed sensitive information about whether or not I could trust you. I'm not saying that you're the villain, but you're definitely not a clear ally. Rabia takes this opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool, and fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inward. She is by far the stronger, and pushes Sabine to their knees, plunging their crackling end of the baton toward their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. I mean, you don't gotta, like, kill them or nothing. Stop. Then you support them? Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are so easily swayed. You're both morally gray. This is not a binary choice. The game has collapsed on itself. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia. Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she's about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But then, after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, and spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. What do I even think Rabia Explain would do in this context? Like, explain why she didn't kill Sabine? Like, that's fine. I don't need an explanation on that. I feel like we should have a civil conversation here, the three of us, and none of the three of us should be attempting to kill any of the other three of us. That's what I would like to happen. But then again, I've exposed my own, failings as a human in 2025, I suppose, to think that people could be reasoned with. Oh, it's such a bad day for me to be streaming. I should not be streaming. Hey, now what? They both look at you, each still catching their breath as if they had forgotten about your presence. Rabia cracks her neck. You're lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right, she shouts, the anger a release of tensions more than a threat. Sabine lifts themselves a little, bruised from the fall. They roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props themselves up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, there's no coming back. What's the point? She refuses to listen to the criticism of the Great Yatagan Project. Speak, Rabia says. She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. She rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from Essen Arp, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. She turns to you, or they turn to you. Sleeper. They take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you are my final friend. Okay, that's not wrong, but it's annoying that, like, we act surprised that we didn't have, like, undying loyalty to Sabine when they came into the room suddenly earlier. They're, like, hurt that, like, we didn't have their back. Like, I feel good about my choices because it has achieved the thing that I wanted, which is the two of them talking to each other. That's what I wanted from this story. I don't know if it'll turn out well, but at least I feel like this is the best chance I can have to resolving the low end. Which, like I said, I feel like neither one of these two was originally fully in the right, and that they should have, like, a conversation. But, like, it's ridiculous that they come in and they're like, what, you didn't just want to, like, stab Rabia in the back? It's like, you, like, blew away like dust in the wind after, like, not helping me at all. We had an arrangement, you blew me off, and then, like, I found out that you were working for the people who are hunting me down, so, like, no, I don't trust you implicitly. Also, it really sucks that I'm your final friend. My best friend is a child followed closely by a vending machine. What you should know is that I left S&ARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on to the press. S&ARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does this have to do with Yannick? The sleeper knows you're S&ARP, I told them. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know that you worked on the sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It is true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. I mean, yeah, that's how you be a whistleblower, is that you were a part of it. That's not new. Everyone needs to stop thinking they're one-upping each other and just keep talking, okay? They lift their head. But it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of S&ARP. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for goodness sake. In exchange for those, Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He has been using Yatagan enforcers, using you as test subjects for S&ARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabia's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here, thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I have tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here, not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds her hand out to Sabine. Show me! Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still talking Rabia through the manifests and usage data, both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye, and something passes between you, something like a thank you, or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates sadness and hope. Well, that's about as good as I could have hoped that would go. Somehow I'm still mad about it. I think having 4 points, I will probably spend 2 to upgrade to a flat modifier on engage. So let's do that. That way I can... Am I highlighting? Okay, the right thing. So get... Oh! That's not how I thought that would work. That's not hugely different, but that surprised me. So it is actually possible to get that up to a +2. Weird. Okay, fair enough, I guess. So we spend... Well, I guess if that's the case, I don't have to spend 2 points on that, huh? Does that change my math? Because I really just wanted the 0. I mean, I could spend 2 more points to get a +1. I mean, it would be kind of nice to get Obsessive Haggler, but that would take 4 more points, which isn't the end of the world. But doing that would also let me try to haggle down those ship mine parts that I want to get. I don't know. I haven't really felt like most of the time I need plus twos. What are the dice that I currently have? They're god-awful. Please re-roll them. Okay. I mean, I'm still definitely not doing that challenge today. I have energy. I'm at full condition. So... Main complaint about CS1 was twofold. One, all classes eventually converged in the same character. Yeah. That's not my biggest complaint, but yeah, that is valid. And the game got a pinch too easy. Yeah. I mean, I think both of those things are a function of what I was kind of talking about at the end of yesterday's stream, which is sort of like the game is not constructed in a way where the story diverges strongly. So, like, multiple playthroughs don't necessarily yield a lot of different experience unless you're specifically going for completion in terms of, like, achievements or just trying to see every possible thing or whatever. But, like, it's not exactly linear, but it's not really not linear either. I'm good on most of my resources, so I think it would be a decent time to try and, like, roll some progress on this safe work the grow beds thing. Well, actually, I suppose I could work the canteen too now that that's a 0. It doesn't really matter, though, because I have the same modifier for both, and the circumstances seem to be the same for both. Because neither endure nor engage has, like, a bonus to, like... No, that's not true. If I did upgrade engage another point, then I would have a chance to gain energy. So that would make that a better choice if I was inclined to commit myself to doing engage. But then... No, that's fine. I mean, if this game was, like, more contained like I kind of initially thought it would, like, I think this skill tree is enough to carry it out, but, like, again, it's not my biggest complaint about the game by any means, but, like, I can definitely see that being a complaint that, like, if you play it for long enough, like, everything has at least a +1 and then sometimes a +2, and stuff doesn't really matter all that much. I kind of want Haggler. It's not, like, hugely important, but I feel like it's more useful to me than, like, +2s, because it's just, like, a permanent boost to resource management, and to a lesser extent, so would Thrill Seeker. So, like, I think I'll actually spend the points, I guess. And since I'm committing to trying to get to Haggler, I might as well, like, get the +1, because I'd have to get it along the way anyway. So now that's, like, a double reason to do one of these over the other. And I even have a chance at gaining some random bonus energy. It's an irrelevant chance, but, like, the point is that... I don't know, I guess the point is I can do everything. Everything I wanted came in a rocket can, and that rocket can was, like, 3 upgrade. I even got energy, look at that. Although that was part of the positive outcome. Well, no, I guess it lists that way when you get, like, money off of hacking or whatever. Whatever. Let's start a commune. Because I think it'll let us plant our magic seed. I don't think I have any pressing clocks other than the guy trying to kill me. No. So I'm gonna go to bed. My condition is good. We're still, like, several days away from being murdered. And now, like, we should have a pretty good chance of getting a die roll good enough to do compressor tomorrow. And then we can start, like, shoring up some of those things I've had on hold. Like advancing Lem and Mina. Maybe buying ship mine fragments? No, that's tomorrow. But it's soon. And I think I can haggle? Or maybe I... Oh, no, I'll need to do another drive. But I think the compressor club is that. Yeah, these are good rolls. But now, I only need a 5 here because I've drastically altered the state of the universe since the last time I looked at this. So let's grab the gun, I guess. The gun tucked safely into a pocket, you work your way down the stairs that lead up to the office. But we really glossed right over that, huh? We really yada yada'd past everything but the lobster bisque. Doorman passes you and you exchange nods. It seems like you're in the clear. You hurry on, eager to get out of here before anyone spots anything. As you come down to the main stairway into the front of the club, you see Ethan entering. He has a dark look in his eyes which troubles you. He's reaching into the pocket of his coat. Slowly, carefully. You catch his eye and he raises an eyebrow. You shake your head. A long pause, then he nods, turns around, walking back out of the club. You exhale, not realizing you were holding your breath. And then you're out, without a single shout, without anyone noticing. You meet Ethan around the corner on a quiet, bright market walkway. You have it? He looks nervous. What were you doing back there? I was about to start a distraction like we agreed. Just show me. You lift it out of your pocket, and it's colder and heavier than you expected. Ethan watches you take it out. Nice. Now, if you'd hand it over, Pilgrim. A memory jumps into your mind of Ethan in the compressor, hand out, asking for his gun back. A memory followed by the memory of a sharp, dizzying pain. You flinch. I don't like the Ethan storyline. Like, if this was more of like a simulation than it was like a straight peculiar turn-based role-playing game, I would feel relatively secure in the knowledge that I'm in good with Rabia, who could, like, beat Ethan's sorry butt up and down the low end all day as a treat. Like, this is very much like a personal thing. Like, I feel like there's objectively something weird about the way that the Navigator killer storyline is framed in the end. But, like, I just, like, personally don't like the way that they framed the Ethan thing. Where, like, I feel like they want you to think that, like, working with Ethan is your only viable option. But I don't feel as though the circumstances actually, like, bear that out. I'm not giving it to him. Come on, hand it over. I don't think I want to point the gun at Ethan. Because, like, it's not really my intention to murder him, I don't think. I probably should, but, like, I don't think it, like, I'm opposed to, like, violence in this, like, weird world, but, like, I don't think I want to kill him. I don't feel like that's what I'm doing. Funny. Ethan narrows his eyes. Oh, good. I don't like this. I mean, the thing I guess I need from him to feel like I can work from him is some concession on his part to explain why I should trust him after everything I've been through on his behalf. Not with him, mind you. And I guess between the two options, the way to do that is to point the gun at him. Ethan laughs. So you can learn. Well done, you. Unfortunately, it's a little too late. You notice the hand in his pocket. You had so many cycles to try and end this, and yet here we are. What are you talking about? Still don't get it, do you, sleeper? When they canceled that contract, I lost everything. My reputation, my payout, any way of getting off this station, everything. I still legitimately don't understand how that could be true. Like, what resources did he expend to get here on a single, like, random bounty contract that, like, them canceling the contract literally ruined his entire life? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. All I had left was you, he grins, a naive little sleeper with a heart of gold. Can't believe it worked. And now, we're done. Contract's canceled, idiot. Yeah? Can't believe you thought I'd kill one of my own for you. For what, helping me wash dishes? Maywick's like me. We understand each other. God, this guy's an idiot. He's here, you know, on the station. I've been speaking with him. He tells me we could split the contract. Not 50-50, but get enough of a finder's fee that I could get out of this place. He's obviously lying, you idiot. At this point, sleeper, I'm not sure you're the one I'd trust to spot a lie. Doesn't matter either way, I already called him. Ethan glances around. I've learned one thing from you, though, sleeper. In all our cycles working in that club, people never know when to cut and run. It's like they freeze in the headlights when the future's bearing down on them. They watch it coming, watch their death flying in at a fraction drive speed. You had every chance, and yet you still kept going on like some idiot robot going through the motions, even when you knew you'd be crushed. And let me tell you something else. The shot enters through his upper back, and he crumples immediately to the ground. You drop too without thinking, pressing yourself to the walkway floor like it might save you. Silence. You look up and see him coming down the walkway, silent, eyes alight. I'm not sure that camouflage is going to do much to help you on the space station. Maywick. You freeze in fear. Here it comes. Move? Why am I saying move out loud? You can't. Say move. You inch forward. Say move again. You go for it. You rush forward and a shot sounds out. You feel it ripple over your back. Then you're lifting the gun and you scramble to your knees behind Ethan's body and fire. You close your eyes, you fire again and again until the clip is empty, and all that are left are clicks. Then you drop the gun and stand up. You don't hear anyone running, you don't hear anything. You just hear the sound of your own breath. Well, that's something, isn't it? You start walking, stepping over Ethan's static body, walking along the walkway, and then past Maywick, his eyes now dark, some mechanical fluid leaking from his chest, perhaps the same fluid that's inside you. You try not to think about it. You keep going, and the sound comes back. The eye comes back. And as it does, you hear the sound of thousands of people getting on with their lives. Thousands of people who are just going to keep going until they can't go anymore. You look up, and all you see are the wheeling stars. They're spinning, and you're suddenly dizzy, though the eye has always spun like this, hasn't it? You don't stop walking. The hits start coming, and they don't stop coming. That's all there is now, the path forward. S&ARP have left you no history, no past to speak of, just a void that threatens to swallow you if you slow down. You think of Ethan's smile, his voice, and feel sick. Is it over? You aren't sure it ever can be, but you're still here, and you can't stop now. There has to be a better end than this. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like that story either. And now Ripperworm's open. Okay, can you... At this point, would there still be a spoiler to explain this bug? Because this makes no sense to me. Here's my hang up on this, right? Like, I have had the ability to do this, like, Ripperworm quest for, like 30 in-game days or more. And, like, the second it came up, it seemed like it should be my highest priority. So, like, as a player, I absolutely feel like if I'm not allowed to pursue that immediately, it's either a flaw of design or, like, a really cruel oversight. If you slot it, it messes up Ethan's storyline completely. Okay. I see what you mean. This, I feel personally as though I may argue that nothing of value was lost, but that's fine. That's neither here nor there. So, in order to advance the Ripperworm, I plug this in here, right? Is that right? It's been so long now, and I haven't been able to talk to Feng for like a month. There's really like no other place I could put it though, right? I could like try to sell it, but like I think that's correct. What else do I need to do today? Do I have like a murder clock? Oh, that's weird. I still have the same murder clock. Maybe it'll go away tomorrow. Oh, no, I fixed it. It's gone now. I don't have a murder clock. And I can get Haggler now, which is nice. Which I suppose I should just do. I plan on buying things tomorrow at the very least. Yeah, I could wait till then. Enter the... What is on the... Enter the greenway? Oh, I see. Find a place to put the seed. Yeah. So, like, if you do the Ripperworm, then you can open compressor, but the actions are grayed out. Yeah, that makes sense. But, like... I mean, I know you've described it as a bug, but, like... that just feels like an oversight. Like, that feels like that should just be, like, a viable story path, is that, like, it just doesn't happen or whatever. I'm glad I made those two be friends. That's my favorite thing that's happened today, I think. Everything else is making me irritable, which may not be fair to say. It may simply be that I'm irritable, and that's the one thing that hasn't increased my irritability. So I'm waiting for this to come back. The other one's showing up. I have some good die rolls. I don't really know what to do with them. I could use money. I don't hugely need energy. So now... Well, this isn't safe, I guess, which is the drawback to this as opposed to working the stacks for money. But, like, I would at least have a chance to gain free energy by doing this. Oh, it also has, like, a lower fail result. I can spend 6 to get money. I do need money. Give me like $24. And then go back over to the greenway. This is a safe task. These are both safe tasks. So let me try doing some engage work and see if we advance this. Ah, sweet, we high rolled it. I became a communist. That tracks, sure. Let's talk to Rico, the commune botanist. You head down to the Haifa compound, following a blue painted line that's labeled laboratories. So you're telling me I had to put in like 8 units of clock to follow a blue line? I'm starting to think we're not very good at this. The member you were assigned to work with told you that they'd asked to see you, but you still have no idea what about. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass roof chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing at a lab bench camouflaged by dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk, she says and beckons you closer. What is this place? Here? These were processing centers for the agriculture of the old corporate station. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. What's Haifa? Is it Haifa D's nuts? Is that something? She looks surprised. You've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. Yeah, you know what? Same. You and me both, lady. It's weird that I have to do a bunch of work before the game really tells me what the Haifa commune is. Which, again, in my, like, personal opinion, is a little bit of a failing on the way that the flavor text is oriented. Because, like, even if I don't know the strict outcome of, like, working a job somewhere on the space station, it feels really weird to me that, like, they're just sort of like, work this clock. And you're like, why? And they're like, if there was, like, some vague reason to do it, even if I didn't know how it would benefit me, that would make sense. But they're just kind of like, you want another clock? How do you like my time, Mario? It would be sunlight or starlight. I feel like by human nature, just the fact that, like, plants are involved, you would, like, by default call it sunlight, but I definitely get your point. Like, we're in space, and I don't think we're in the solar system, so, like, probably not sunlight, even by that archaic definition. She lifts a tiny sample jar, yellow spores inside. I feel like lives off the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waits for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All that the sun touches belongs to everyone, man, or whatever. It's kind of a miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this when they're abandoned? Oh, I know this one. The same thing as everything else. No, wait, that's X-Men 1. They probably... I mean, like, it's hard to answer this question earnestly without knowing what, like, infrastructure would function. Like, if, like, the watering system is manual or whatever. But, like, I assume that they would continue to get sunlight, but wouldn't get water or anything else that they might need. So, like, they'd probably dry up most of the time? Oh, good. I got it right. Exactly. They run out of water. Very rapidly, in fact. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here they endured. She smiles to herself. Actually, no. They thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong. Like they're taking control of this place. Of course, Solheim tried to create like a stable biosphere here. Patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlen himself was so convinced of this that his first colony never even came here to try and reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agriculture systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet here we are, among growth and decay, A biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, and maybe some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch, but we found a jungle, man. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. Roll a sanity check. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet, too.
I might get wet down there.
A rarity on the eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof and gathers on the shiny broad leaves of the shrubs. How? That's exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. Alright, I'll try to avert my gaze. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system has stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us. Or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Me? Yeah, you. Rico sits on the railing. These halls run deep, Sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep beneath the greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous to go alone. It's also unnecessary. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You Sleepers are hardy beings. I know that much. And you can speak to the eye and uncover its secrets in ways I never can. She holds out her arms so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they're found, the better. And what if I don't want to? Sure, I'll try. I want to do something with the seed. I don't know. This game does have an increasingly bad habit, I think, of showing you the key first and then the lock, by which I mean before you know why you need or want something, you get the thing that you would need. It's a thing that comes up in adventure games and certain other puzzle games from time to time, but typically it's not ideal. Thank you, and thank you for listening. She kind of looks like Spike from Cowboy Bebop to me. Rico leads you back out of the huge chamber and up through the passages. She's a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune. Or, I guess you don't have blood. Skull joke. Many of us have been here for a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, Sleeper. There are discoveries to be made. And you follow the blue line back up out of the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible magical green. I got a new drive. Collect spores for Rico. Okay, and I also got I got a dorm. This is in no way different from my current storage unit. For me, why would you present a story with a refuse option? If it loops around to yes, then it's pointless. If you accidentally select no, you come back to try it again later. It depends a little bit on your intention designing the game, but I think that's a valid concern. Is that really enough to get another drive point? It didn't really feel like it. I feel this isn't a major concern, but it has nagged at me a little that it feels like there's kind of an inconsistent amount of effort that goes into getting drive points. Some of them are just gated behind a certain amount of things happening, not so much you progressing anything in particular. You don't necessarily earn them, and that feels weird. And then some of them you have to go through many hoops, and it starts to feel ridiculous. And then by the time you get it, you're finally, instead of what a cool whatever. I think I'm gonna go ahead and haggle. Boop. But so I guess my argument is I think that's a valid concern, Demolition, but it's You know, like some games like want you to be able to do I guess the tension in this game is that like it sounds like this game wants you to be able to do almost everything in a single run. Not everything, but like very few things are actually locked off to you. And if that's the case, then like you might as well just create one non-committal dialogue option of like, we'll see every time, because like if it doesn't want to close off options, then like there's no point to it. But like if the game wanted to force you to make those choices or whatever, then it makes sense to be able to reject some things and accept others. I have no concept of what upgrade I want next. At all. So what's going on at the commune now? I can just do like a non-risk activity that gives... That's crazy. You just put a die in here and you always get double plus energy? That's weird. So then I feasibly like never have to spend anything other than my worst die roll to eat? I guess it makes sense, especially because it's like exactly 2 energy. Cause like you work in the commune, you'll never get extra food, but you'll always have food. You always have exactly as much food as you need, which is 2. That's interesting. But at the same time, sometimes the dice are more important than money. Anyway, it's important to me that we wake up every day starving, which is a joke. It's not actually true, but... So she wants spores currently. Spores? I want 3 spores? Well, I can... What is the thing I need most, though? And is it money? I actually do feel like I should try and get as much money as possible. As far as I know, the best way to get money with a 6 is still the top of the room. Not you. Actually, before I do this... Do this. Unlock the Havage cipher. The gate flips. You are in. Okay. So now what's going on over here? Havage port H33. Then we just like put a ripper worm in it. Shipyard server slotted. Can I finally talk to what's-his-face again? After all that, there's like a 3-day clock? What a dingus. I kind of hate Feng. He hasn't done anything wrong, other than, like, make me annoyed. Which is everyone's crime equally, I think. Except, Mina and Bun-Bun. And our mushroom husband. I'm gonna make some money. Because I need to buy 2/3 of a computer. What's the best way to make money off of 3? I guess I could re-roll it. It's not gonna be this. It's just energy. I could do... Now that I have, like, positive in engage, can't I do... Is it Minji? No, the only real benefit to doing this over the other one is the energy, which isn't my concern right now. So I'd be better off doing this one. So buying food is 20% cheaper. Did it give a flat, like, 20% description? I should check that, but I'm just gonna roll this die right now. Ah, bad result. Is it? Oh yeah, it does. It says 20%. 20% is pretty good. And then in addition to that, with the haggle ability, I could try to get even cheaper ship parts. So, like, maybe I have enough money for that? Look at stabilizer. That's a good point. I mean, hang on. 10% minus 16, 64? Yeah. 64 is a lot better than 100. It's in fact like 36 better. I mean, I guess I could go sleep at the commune for fun. And I don't need to self-repair, which is nice. You wake from dreams of Maywick's amber eyes floating in a pool of dark fluid. It was difficult to get to sleep, and you suspect that isn't about to change anytime soon. Not after what happened. But you also feel something else as you get up. Thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil water like every morning. You feel something is lifted, something that's been hanging over you since you arrived on this station. You try not to think too hard about it, to question it. You just let that lightness stay. Let it settle as you go through your routines. Your hope is that if you don't focus on it, don't look at it directly, it won't get scared and leave you. That the lightness will stay for this cycle, and then another, and then another. Because after all that's happened, a little lightness would be nice. Amen to that. These are kind of medium die rolls. Let me go do computer stuff. Hello. +1. It's only 48 cryo with the discount. I feel like I should use my medium rolls first, then roll the bad ones. And if I get something good enough... Oh man, if you fail this, you get double plus limited supply. That's so rude. That would mean like you wouldn't be able to buy any ship mine parts. What, like an absolute bonehead move. So what other things do I want to do today, I suppose? At this point, I think resources are good enough that we can, like, go back to the sidereal dock. But I don't have any 5s. I probably shouldn't... Well, no, because, like, a medium result's probably not going to be that bad. And I only need, like, 1 unit. So, like, something that's, like, good enough to not cause me damage or whatever is probably good enough. Okay, I did it. Also, I'm starving. Don't worry about it. Quite the achievement, isn't she? Sandre Celis must be proud. You recognize the resonating voice of Castor immediately and turn to see him. Hooded and tucked in the shadows near the viewing platform. Castor. Oh no, I gave him a slightly more sinister voice, didn't I? I see you remember our game. Good. He looks around, but the platform is clear. I'm afraid you'll have to wait for a rematch. Microgravity makes Tavla a little difficult. He smiles broadly. Castor walks out to stand beside you on the platform. The telltale clunk of magnetic boots accompanies his slow crossing. He notices you looking at them. I don't like it much up here. I hear there was some trouble at the Havented shipyard when they announced the results of the crew lottery. They screwed us. I know. He sighs, meeting your eye. An ugly business. Sellers are too used to get to the way things work here in the core. Exploitation is the only logic they know. He gestures out at the sidereal. You know why they built this monstrosity on the eye? Probably money? Because they could, use the labor here more cheaply or something? That was a part, perhaps, but there are cheaper shipyards. She stares at the pristine yellow hull. Sellers built it here because they didn't want anyone to know it exists. He rubs his forehead. And secrecy is something I cannot abide. That's a weird thing to say. There are people being loaded onto that ship as we speak. Sleeping people locked in cryo-sleep like that person that you were emulated from. There are hundreds of them, and Celis wants to send them out to a planet at the edge of the settled systems without anyone knowing where it is. But you, Sleeper, can do something about that. You are like me. You deal with data. You can rate it right out of the air. With someone like you on that ship, secrecy isn't a problem. You can ping back whatever I need whenever I need it as long as you're on board. With you on the sidereal and with some minor modifications, you can be my eyes and ears. I'll keep track of Celis's grand project through you. In short, I can get you aboard, Sleeper, but I'm going to need you to help me. Who are you? I'm a concerned party. Someone who likes to know what's happening, when it's happening, and when it's happening, not afterwards. It's not just me. Yes, your friend Lamb. That can be arranged. It is difficult, but not impossible. The condition is, of course, that you go too. Castor clunks closer to the window, watching the tugs wheeling around the sidereal. It's a simple offer, and the only one that'll get you on that ship. Please consider it. He turns back, silhouetted against the ship. But make it happen. I need your assistance. As I said, there is a Celis Foundation ship docked in the now empty shipyard. I need the data from its server. This will allow me to produce the IDs necessary for your transit. Castor looks over his glasses at you. Celis aren't stupid, though. Their ship is totally isolated from the station. You'll need to get on board if you want to access their air-walled servers. Once you have the data, meet me at your friend's unit so we can give him the good news. I noticed his importance to you, and the little one. So cute. You don't extract the data before the sidereal horizon leaves the hub, then I'll get the message. We have other options, but you are certainly my preferred one. But be sure when you act, Sleeper. Once you take the data from Celis, you'll set off a series of events that will likely be hard for you to untangle yourself from. Either way, I recommend you stop asking around up here. You'll bring in a lot of attention to yourself. Castor glances around as if to emphasize the point. There are only a handful of cycles until departure, Sleeper. Make your decision. With that, Castor marches back off the platform, the sound of his mag boots fading away, leaving you to contemplate the sidereal horizon and the part it may play in your future. So now it has a horrible clock on it. See, this feels... Someone was definitely suggesting that I should just have done this, 20 days ago or something, and I was like, nah, I know that's wrong. So I got 8 days to figure this out. That's not ideal. This feels like this is not worth my time at this point. What is required to do this? Intuition or engage? So if I do engage, I have a chance to gain energy, woo, and I can either immediately infiltrate the ship or get it halfway to lockdown. Yeah, absolutely. No decision, really. Like, the most important thing that we've had on our to-do list this entire time has been to save Mina, Bun-Bun, and Lem also, I guess. Which I appreciate that that's how my mom put it in chat. Mina and Bun-Bun, pause, and Lem. So we've got the alternative would require 2 successes over here. I don't know what, like, a normal... It feels like a normal success over here would still be good. I guess maybe that would give less than 3 infiltration. Part of me wants to just reroll all my die, but that's bad. That can't be correct. Let me spend... Well... You would? You think that's worth doing? It's close. I mean, I can only spend a bad die roll getting my daily allotment of energy. But the 3s and 4s just aren't doing very much. Unless I, like, somehow get, like, 2 drive points to up something to +2, which seems unlikely. But, like, with the new clock going on... Yeah, I guess the thing is that I really don't have anything that, like, a 3 or 4 is so effective in that I wouldn't rather have the chance at that die being a 5 or a 6. It's, like, kind of a weird situation, but I think that's true. It's not a great result. I think I want to do this first. Like, I should have enough time to manage everything needed, I think, if I just commit to it. But, like, I want to help Amber, or whatever her name is, I don't remember, it's been too long, and get... I just want to make another ship mine, really. $32. Cool. Let me go do some fabrication. So now I got me ship mine part 2. Drop the huge cylinder into the mess room table. Ankita can't hide her excitement. I did a drive. He dropped the ship mine core onto the galley table with an emphatic bang! Ankita spins around from where she's been poring over some documents on her slate. Holy crap, Sleeper! Did you actually land a ship mine? She rushes over and hefts the huge cylinder, turning it back and forth. Oh crap, this might actually work! She smiles wider than you've ever seen. Where'd you get it? I built it. Built it? Well, you're full of surprises. Ankita bangs on the galley wall. Hear that, Amber? Sleeper got you a new ship mine. The sound echoes down the ship's passages. You have to admit, being in a small space with Ankita when she's excited is a little intimidating. Ankita puts the ship mine back on the table. I'll start the process of fitting it as soon as I can. Might need your help with some of it. She heads back towards the counter to grab her slate. This isn't the only good news today either. Looks like my good karma's finally coming in. She throws the slate on the table and spins it so you can see the screen. Take a look at this! You see a list of names and numbers, nothing that exciting, along with what looks like a transit timetable. I found them! The thieves? Exactly. Well, the thief's singular. She points at a name on the list. Or more specifically, Ashton Kaede. It was one of his... It was his past that was used to access Amber and slice the ship mind. Thought he might have been killed or robbed, his past stolen, but it turns out he crossed the Founder's Gap the very next cycle. Founder's Gap? That big rift in the station. You can't cross it without the Founder's Ferry. She leans back in her seat. I know some of the crew over at the ferry. Old Mercs used to run in an outfit I worked with. I saw them in the Overlook, and they mentioned they saw Ashton crossing. I checked the manifest, and there he was. Looks suspicious. He hasn't said a word since the theft, and anyone wanting to hide out might head to the Greenway and go to ground. He won't get far, though. There's no real docks out there, only a couple jetties in the wastes. Going after him? Not yet. I want to fit the ship mind, but maybe you could help me out. Where's this going? It's like this. I head over there, especially in Amber. He'll spot me a mile off and go underground. He'll find a way to slip the station, or he'll bury himself so deep in the waste no one will ever find him. But you, Ashton doesn't know you. All I need is for you to go there and sniff around. Not at the commune, not the stacks. He'll have gone to the edges, the margins, the wild places. That's what Ashton likes. You see him, you locate him, you ping me on this. She hands you an earpiece. Seeing as this is Merc work, I'll be happy to pay you Merc pay. She shifts in her seat. Thing is, I haven't got much left. So how about I tell the boys who run the ferry to give you a discount? No, it's not much, but once you grab this coward, I'll pay up. 200 cryo, nothing less. It would be so inconceivably difficult to get to this stage of this storyline before buying transit to the Greenway. Like, that's insane. Like, why is that even an option? What do you say? Sure. I don't know if I have time for that, but whatever. Gives you a heavy whack on the shoulder. Good, I owe you. She lifts the ship mine up onto her shoulder with worrying ease. I'm gonna get this fitted onto Amber's core. You get any info, any sense of where Ashton's hiding, let me know. She goes to turn and stops. And once again, thank you, I appreciate it. Kita stomps off into the guts of the Amber with the ship mine, leaving you in the galley. You glance around, a sudden nervous energy descending at what is to come. Never thought you'd get work as a mercenary, but then again, it seems the eye is full of surprises. Got 2 points. And a new drive and some really middling die rolls. Remind me, Demolition, like the way these condition boxes work. Tomorrow, will I get 5 dice? Is that correct? If there's like anything overlapping that sector? Okay. Or it is. So then I should spend one of my scrap, which is fine. I should also hope that I get better die rolls. So hang on. What task is required? I should get some energy. I definitely need energy. Spend 3 scrap, give yourself a buffer zone. I think I can only hold 2 more condition, and even at that, I can do as many as I want at a time. I don't know why I would front load it. That's weird. This has a bad... Oh, I see. This has a -3 energy negative result. And I have, like, middling die rolls. So then let's do... Oh no, I got the worst possible result, which is the same as the best possible result. Like, I don't think there's any point in trying to advance the lemon mina thing until I have a 5 or a 6. So I think the thing to do is, like, probably, like, spend another die on energy, maybe see if I can advance this to help. I can't ever remember her name. I keep wanting to call her Agatha. Man, I keep getting... Oh, I got bonus plus bonus energy. So then we should be good to risk -3 energy on this medium die roll, and hopefully not actually get negative this time. But even if we do, it's fine, actually. It's not good, but it's fine. Okay, I got 1 point, which is bad. That seems not helpful. So let me do a scrap. And then do a bed. These rolls are excruciatingly medium. I hate how, like, desperately medium they are. Maybe I should have just worked on the con. I don't know. Huh. Oh, you guys. Rabia. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing! I wanted to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Sleeper, you know, it's been hearing good things from Raby. He smiles an easy smile. Good to meet you. Likewise, likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Raby, where were we? Actually, Raby places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What's going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block's proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Raby. Yeah, he waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, Sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head and raises it again, as if he dropped something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What is he saying? That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward anytime they'd like. You shoot Rabia, a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it's so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Yan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Raby! Now please, let us old friends get back to it. She guides Raby away, leaving you standing alone. This feels very Grand Theft Auto, by the way. You look to Rabia, but she's deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. I don't know that I have time for... Oh, the ward's up here. It's not... That's the ward? That's not what I thought that meant. Well, I can gain Yannick's trust. I assume this is dangerous work, right? Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like my hierarchy of character priorities are like Mina and Bun-Bun at top, Lem obviously connected but slightly below. What's his name? Ennis? The mushroom guy? But like I don't think there's anything more we could do with him. Then like honestly like maybe Rabia? But like I also have this that I probably should deal with. But I can't do that today. I think it's fine to spend the 4, but I am inclined to reroll everything that isn't the 4. Cause like with a +1 here, like I make progress without what seems like any considerable threat. Okay, even on a medium result you lose energy. That's good to know and definitely a little annoying. So let's reroll. Okay, we got some 5s. Now the trick is I think I want to like spend one of these 5s now and like wait to do the other one until I feel like the implication is like close to the end of the clock of the ship leaving. Faster is better, but he said that like if I access the ship, then like I will. He basically implied the game will end. Like here's the problem: is that like early game, this game suggests that faster is better. Mid game, you are really punished for doing that. End game, I don't know. I've gotten mixed messages, so I don't know how I'm supposed to interpret that. Is the direct result of succeeding at this just getting the ID and then I still have a chance to decide when I use it? Or are there more steps to this? I don't actually know if I want an answer to this. The game is not... There's more steps. Okay, so you do something on the ship after you get on the ship or whatever. No, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, I guess I should look at what that looks like then. I don't know. Oh, this is a both again, huh? Oh, that's a... No, wait. Oh, I see. The other one's repeatable. Ugh. Whatever, man. My dad's on a cell phone. That being the case... Wait, what's the punishment? +1 out of 3 lockdown. So you can get 2 infiltration. I'm guessing that medium is like 1 infiltration. Possibly lockdown in addition to that. Like, that being the case... I don't want to mess this up. And I can, like, afford a lockdown at this point if I have to. Oh, we got a critical hit. So now... Why do you just, like, steal money from them? Like, why do you get 53 cryo? Wait, that's weird. Why is... This is listed weird. You're in. Maybe if you do this right, you might be able to pull something more than just IDs. So the fail cases, you get data. But, like, also presumably something awful happens. But, like, if you succeed, you get cryo and data. It frames it in such a way that, like, if you succeed, you don't get the thing you want, which is, like, it's not normally how a success works. I think I'm gonna, like, stock some energy with this garbage die roll, because that will help with the Rabia thing. It's a negative outcome, but I got a bonus energy. It's a weird... Game's gotten weird, man. Alright, let's go to bed. Oh, and let's do a scrap. Didn't mean to back out. Hey, some six. We've had some real, but like I said earlier in the stream, my, like, all variants today has been just absolutely dreadful. Oh, hey, it's Feng. As you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, sleeper! He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Go where? To see Hardenhurst! He gives you a sideways glance. Isn't that what you're here for? He steps into the passageway, guiding you down ring toward the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. That data you ripped, well done by the way, tells me Harden is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn into a dimly lit side passage. No, I know what the sidereal horizon is. The pacing of this game is a little weird. Confront him? That's right, the perfect time. Feng slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where, somewhere in the black, a water pipe drips. It's him, sleeper, the same Hardenhurst. Worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Havenage while it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day, and next Erland's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market crashed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs got higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Again, it's a real relief that there are no parallels between this game and anything that's happening in reality, because it'd be depressing, wouldn't it? Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents were coming in non-stop. As new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases and central systems, while this severed limb of a station desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot and his MEV, overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died. Thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlen, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true. But my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in the MEV and welded it to the dock, while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Fang pauses in the dark. They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart, finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From garbage like Hardin. People who held their place wrote it out and shipped into the new structure like nothing changed. Standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Fang starts walking again. That's why I can't let him strut about the shipyard. This time, his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits, like superpowers, I guess. And rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass. Also, can I just point out how disingenuous that response is, considering that we had an earlier conversation with Fang where he was like, I don't know, it's impossible it could be the same thing. It's been like an incredible amount of time, and now he's like, you idiot, of course that happens. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. This is crazy! Fang turns to look at you. Don't come then. I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. What is it then, Sleeper? You coming or not? I mean... I don't really, like, I'm not, like, 100% clear on what he's trying to do. It sounds bad and murdery, but, like, also this guy is supposed to help turn off my, like, tracking computer, which is something I want and feel like I, like, deserve at this point. Like, I've earned it. I'll see what stupid thing he's doing. Let's go show this guy there's some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrances and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex. Snatches of construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal and imposing. Bing seems to know exactly where he's going, and before long he crosses into a huge dry dock, locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space, so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time. There are a lot of gender-neutral people in the future. It's interesting. Oh no, this is actually a plurality of people. I thought they were just saying them, the... whatever his name is, hardened hardbody, whatever. And at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship, the other, stick-thin, cleanly dressed and with a shock of gray hair. It's Harden. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come up to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and Harden nodding along. Hardenhurst! Feng shouts from across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes? Harden asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng. You see his gaze linger on your body, unsure why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Harden, a Solheim executive who tried to hide here among the victims. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erlen stood for, everything Havenage stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, the stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Harden laughs. Well, good to meet you, too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, others nervous. You are from the systems branch, are you not? Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. Foreman glances between Feng and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans toward him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. You know what? I don't feel the need to get involved in this. I probably shouldn't have come here. If I see, like, some injustice happening, maybe I'll, like, risk it or whatever. But, like, this dude was like, I have a terrible idea. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'm gonna do it right now, and I'm gonna do it worse than you think I am. So, like, I don't feel the need to, like, get involved so much. Feng holds up a stick of memory. Is that a type of gum? You guessed right. I am systems. Oh, I thought I guessed right that it was a type of gum. And I have records that link you directly to Solheim here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. Bernie Sanders' voice. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm and measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. Oh, this guy does suck, huh? I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow and tries to turn my own men against me. Alright, that's strike one, buddy. You hear it now, the echoing sound of the boots on walkways coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on their boxy black sidearms at their sides. Ah, that's why they call them sidearms, huh? Feng spits. Hardin, you suck. You can't wriggle out of this one. Security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. Dude, come on. No. Shut up, Feng. You're bad. You look at Feng. He shakes his head and puts his hand on your shoulder. Let's go. As if it was his idea. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Feng picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Feng is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Feng. What? That, Sleeper, is something our worm added to Hardin's personal slate. We're tracking his outgoing messages. Feng's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. Uplight? What's uplight? The old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point, striving to put right what once went wrong. Why is he sending so many messages right away? What's the deal? All these dots, these are Hardin's buddies. The ones he's messaging right now, and we're gonna find them all. You tricked me? Not exactly, you did good. Ben glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Feng drifts away back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, and are pleased to see him leave. Unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Nope, nah, definitely mad. That's not cool. That's some not cool stuff right there. Definitely like that guy less than I did before, and that wasn't a big number. So how many clock units? 4? Get Ben, man. You're not helping me out. I'm up to 3, huh? Well, it'll help if my middling rolls keep up. So, like... I don't know if I should do that. Let me get some delicious Yannick Trust today. I've been listening while trying to set up all the Sanrio characters. Almost best friends with Hello Kitty. Oh, you're playing... What is it called? Like Hello Kitty Adventure Island or something? You hadn't mentioned it in a while. I forgot you were playing that. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Pretty close. Pretty close. I think... Oh, hang on a second. I just had a thought. This ship is back, isn't it? I should probably, like, buy some discount scrap. Got a ship mine thing. Got a ship mine thing? Would have been really funny if I just got 3 ship mine parts. I had actually been looking for scrap to do my self-repair thing. I just got 2 of the, like, the rare hits. So yeah, probability is really messed up. It's a really bad day for me, and I knew that would happen playing this game because I literally just spent my entire afternoon trying to do, like, a variety of, like, low stakes, like, games in my free time to distract from how terrible life is, and, like, every one of them just the absolute worst probability at every instant. It was genuinely insane. Like, very triggered, extremely triggered. Reality is such garbage. I don't know. I don't... It's so hard to know where you stand in this game. Like, early on, it doesn't bother me so much, but, like, as, like, the stakes escalate, like, it becomes increasingly annoying to me that, like, you don't have necessarily even, like, a vague sense of the outcome of your actions. What happened? It's just, like, none of it is consequential. I was like, I have a little bit of free time this afternoon. I will try to, like, play a game for some enjoyment. And, like, I played my sister's current game, Pokemon TCG Live, and had just, like, a miserable time. Like, I'm really close to hitting, like, the max rank in, like, the slightly more than monthly, like, ladder. But, like, what keeps happening is that, like, I get within, like, one, like, victory of, like, achieving that, and then, like, it's basically like if I win 2 of the next 3 games I should be able to hit that rank, and then I keep, like, reaching that point and then, like, losing 4 straight. It's happened to me, like, 3 times this week, and then it just, like, resets all my progress and is miserable. Then I was playing my sister's old game and had an experience so bad that I was like, I think I should genuinely stop playing this game. Like, I know I'm, like, a resource that's kind of helping keep her in it because our alliance really crapped out, but, like, I am so mad. Like, just so upset. And then just, like, something else. And, like, super crazy annoying. Like, leaving Facebook. The problem is, like, with Facebook, like, there are some people I know that, like, I don't really keep in touch with, so I should be fine just, like, abandoning Facebook completely. But, like, there are people I would just, like, almost definitely never hear from ever again if I just deleted Facebook. So, like, I know I should do it, but I also don't want to do it. God, disable your tracker is a really miserable and thankless task. I don't particularly like Fang. I definitely dislike him more after that last display. Previously, I think I would have said, like, I have relatively neutral feelings about him. You know what? I'm in such like a bad headspace. I think I'm just gonna commit to this, and we'll see what terrible clock comes of it, and then we'll just make the most of whatever time we have left in like next Friday's stream, and deal with the consequences of our own actions. So we got a 6. We'll definitely succeed. Hooray! Okay. Yeah, so that's just closed, but it's here as an artifact. So then, is it the case that as long as I don't click this button, I don't end the game? Is that how this works? It's the same clock? Gotta click it, but there's always a choice. That, to be fair, that's not true of this game, that there's always a choice. That is not a true statement. There are definitely times that you click something and then not really a choice. But like, what do you mean I gotta click it? Can't I realistically not ever click? Like, if I was like a really even more spiteful person than I am, and I just like went to bed for like 8 days, wouldn't the ship just leave? You can't... Wait, really? You cannot end the day if there's one of those active? That's crazy. Alright, well, fine, I guess. You arrive at Lem and Mina's unit. Castor's already waiting outside, leaning beside the door. Forgive me, Sleeper, but Celis is already buzzing with news of the breach. I was expecting you. I mean, I don't like you tracking me. That is unfortunate, Sleeper, because that's exactly what I'll be doing for the foreseeable future. That's a disingenuous comparison, because that is an arrangement that we agreed to. You just tracking me now is understandable, but also not chill and a violation of my privacy. Castor reaches into a pocket and produces a sleek green and white hand terminal. Oh, it's Green Ranger themed. That's fun. Data, please. What is that? Something I acquired from Celis while you were busy on that ship. Castor pushes up his glasses. I haven't been waiting for you the entire time. You hand over a drive with the data, and Castor fishes around for a converter to hook it up. He slots it into the terminal, and after some whirring, a set of 2 transparent films marked with numeric sequences are produced. 2 tickets to an uncertain future, Castor smiles to himself. The child will go with Lem, of course. He pockets them. These are yours, but first, he holds out a white cube, your side of the deal. I can't help but notice that that's the wrong number of tickets. Now, I feel like there's some implication of some alternate something. But, like, it feels like there should just be 3 tickets. What's the cube? Something to help us make use of you. Alright, I don't like that at all. He passes you the square, and you rest it in your palm. A small, white, perfect cube. Suddenly you feel a sharp pain and flinch. The cube jumps from your hand and rattles along the walkway. You look at Castor apologetically. Castor smiles. Not to worry, it has done its job. Now it is for you to do yours. You look down and see a tiny pinprick in the center of your palm. Nothing sinister. This way we can keep track of you and the sidereal horizon. I mean, in a sense, I did agree to this. In a very, like, concrete, literal sense, I didn't agree to these specific terms. And I also feel like it's not a great start to a business relationship, even if it's one that it would be hard for me to change the terms of. For Castor to be like, I could tell you what I'm doing, or I could just, like, inject you with some weird tracking device. Like, that's like a definitely not cool guy way to handle this situation. Whatever. Excellent. Castor hands you the transparent films, and you see shimmering portraits of you and Lem flickering beneath the surface. Go, give them the good news. And he reaches across and buzzes the unit. Lem slides open the door, half dressed in his gear. Sleeper, what brings you up here? Come on in. Beckons you inside. You look to the side, expecting to see Castor, but the wall is empty. The unit is cleaner, better organized than last time. Lem sits in the thin bar and gestures for you to sit. Mina's with some of the local kids. Someone started doing lessons down the way. She seems to like it. I'll sit. We're buds. I'm really tempted to do the thing I always did in college, which was like feel as though I was not a part of the social circumstance sufficiently that I could sit and join it, and then just like lurk ominously outside of it and make people uncomfortable subconsciously. And people would be like, why are you like that? And I'm like, I don't know. Broken? I don't know. So I guess I'll sit. You sit at the bar. What's up, sleeper? Play for time. Why would I play for time? Is my producer standing behind the camera giving the stretch? Like, what are we doing? I have news. Out with it then. Oh, this is in case you like don't want to like go on the spaceship. Listen. Mina and Bun-Bun are getting on that spaceship. So, whatever. Whatever happens to me, whatever, I don't care. I have Celis IDs. You have... How? Does that mean... Yep. Lem stands up and paces around the unit. We have to pack. Starts laughing. My God, we have to pack. How did you do this, sleeper? I made a deal. What a deal. Color me impressed. You show him the ID films, and he whistles at the portraits. Impressive stuff. Pats you on the shoulder. You should stay until Mina gets home. We could tell her together. Yeah, no, that's fine, I think. I think that's fine. The buzzer goes, that'll be her. Lem gets up and opens the door, and Mina, a bundle of energy and life, rushes into the room. Robot! She shouts. Lem picks her up. Mina, you won't believe what they brought us. You flash her the passes, and she looks confused. We're going away after all, Mina. He lifts her up above his head. On that big, beautiful ship. Mina screams, and Lem laughs. He puts Mina down, and she runs over to you and hugs your legs. I love you, robot, she says quietly, so only you can hear. I love you too. And a while later, when you leave, you don't even think to check for Castor by the door until it's too late. You stop and turn halfway down the walkway, but there's nothing there. Even that little white cube is gone. So you keep walking, back through the low end, deep in thought, excited and scared all at once. There's an achievement and not a drive. The fact that that's not a drive seems kind of crazy. I think I re-roll. Yeah, I think well, yeah. It's not gonna get worse than 1. And the 3 by itself isn't, yeah. That's a lot better. How many ticks left on the Sidereal Horizon clock? Like 6, unless it changed. It might have changed, I don't know. I think that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Yes, it's 6. So I think my highest priority with that resolved is to help Arabia. It'd be like nice to do the commune and to help the ship lady, but like frankly I like built her a ship. She can sort her own business out. She offered me a discount to something I paid like all my money for like 1,000 years ago. Like whatever. So let me do like a 6 and get +3 trust units, and then like oh man, I got plus energy for that. That's actually, I think that's actually quite relevant, because I'm going to roll one of these that is not going to be a definite good one. Oh no, actually it is, right? Well, I got energy again. Oh my god. Such a spiteful game engine. I mean, like, the energy's nice. Whatever. The like the like maybe $15 I've gotten from hacking is like fine, but like I just so desperately wanted scrap the whole time and got like none scrap. Just so hateful. Just so emotionally manipulative. Let's be besties or whatever. I somehow gained an energy from that too. What's the probability of gaining energy? Is it like 90? It's insane. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder stuck to a different wall. No, that's legitimately funny. That's comedy. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word, sleeper. You grab it quickly. Rabia says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. Y'all need to work on y'all's communication, okay? She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. Oh god, I'm not dating the old man, am I? I have a mushroom husband. I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block, then we need you to get into his office. It's risky, but obviously the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to S&R. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabia says be careful. This plotline has become overwhelmed with Grand Theft Auto overtones. The data suggests there's some relay processing the implant data and sending it to S&R, but we can't lock down its position. Have you tried stabbing it with a small white cube? Either he's moving it, or it's moving itself, or is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. That, I feel like, is not for granted. The recording creaks. You'll only get one shot. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece. That's the final piece of the puzzle. The end of this. Okay, maybe we can get that done. Good luck, Sleeper. I just wanted to say we're all counting on you. I'm also sorry. Be safe. You pocket the recorder, just in case, and walk away. Looks like it's up to you. So then the next step is, yeah, like one really dangerous roll. Okay, so we've done the hardish part. I guess I'll go back to my dorm. And if we have some extra time, maybe we can do... Oh yeah, we should scrap. Look at all this scrap. Okay, those rolls are good. I don't think any meaningful clocks have advanced. I mean, the next thing to do is this, for sure. And then evaluate what I think I can get done with the rest of my time. But at this point, I'm not even entirely sure if what is left will fill, like, another stream. And this feels like a pretty reasonable cliffhanger. So we'll go ahead and save that for... We'll save that for next time. It will. That's fine. I just don't think it's worth pushing it. And also, I think it's just, like, a good place to pick up. Is, like, how do we resolve that story that I care about? As opposed to something. You got a few streams if you want to. That sounds completely false. Unless it is deterministic that, like, a worst case scenario happens trying to get on the spaceship, which is a spoiler, which you should not say. Anyway. Let me, let's autosave 67 whole seconds ago. Back to the main menu. Don't do whatever you have highlighted. That's fine. Yep. Yeah. An end to a largely miserable day. Congratulations to me, and congratulations to you for making it here. Regrettably, there are several more days until the next stream, and I don't know. I assume that'll be less fun than watching the stream, but you can always go check out my YouTube channel for the old stuff if you happen to miss one or need to get caught up on some earlier part of this series or something. Um, Yep, I don't have anything fun to say. I am completely dejected by existing, and it sucks. I have a room full of stuffed animals. They're pretty good. Somewhere I've hidden some Squirtles. I honestly didn't pay enough attention to whether any of them are peeking out of their hiding spaces. You go ahead and see if you can find one, because I'm ready to be done. I know your guess? Yeah. Chocolate Easter Bunny. Have any of you seen that ridiculous? Might be a Vine. It might be old enough that it's a Vine. I don't think it's a TikTok, but like, there's this like woman like holding like an Easter bunny, like a plush Easter bunny, like a blue one, and she's like, "Oh, like like you probably think that this is the Easter bunny, right? Like you think it's an Easter bunny." Wrong. It's Winnie the Pooh, and like turns it around, and it's like Winnie the Pooh in like a rabbit hood, but like just the way they say it is like so truly bizarre. Like I don't know why anyone would have done that. Like I feel like I'm the closest person that exists to doing that, and like I don't know. Like my guess, like I get the sense that like these people have a very different like sentiment that I do, so it just seems strange that they made this video. You could probably look it up. I don't know what it's called. Like I think it was originally a Vine, but I'm sure it's like on YouTube and other places. Guess behind Winnie the Pooh. I'm assuming Demosh is guessing Pikachu, which like, well, I mean, to be fair, there's two Pikachus again. Also, the small one is still visible. He's a little more hidden. Big one. You know that like that's like a risky strategy because if you commit to one that I will always pick, then it's at my direct whim whether or not you find a Squirtle. It's like a weird. It's a weird choice. It's like I don't know. I'm searching for the metaphor, but I just can't be bothered. All right, so we got Winnie the Pooh, Big Pikachu, saying true. Everything chew, chew true, choo choo rocket. Let's find out. We'll start here with the first guess, Pikachu. Oh no, this easy fell open. You gonna stay up? Not a Squirtle this time, but a different kind of chew. You found a choo choo. It's crazy that that is somehow thematic. Whatever's going on. It's a true. Well, it's not a Squirtle, but you gotta be pretty happy about a Bun-Bun. I have to. I mean, like they show Bun-Bun, and she's got like a body. She's like a rabbit doll, but like I don't know. Bun-Bun makes me think of just like a little bunny friend. Now we got Easter Winnie the Pooh with his great little like embroidered Easter basket with chocolate rabbit in it, which is very good. I'm a big fan. Do you see what that? You see this guy? What do you think of this? Espeon also. There's no way she's standing up. I refuse to try. There's a squirrel back here behind the Jigglypuff, just for you. And also, behind this Jigglypuff. Easter's on 420 this year. I have to say, I didn't bother to clock that. That's something. That's something for someone. Feel like there will be a run on Easter grass, I guess, is my takeaway from that. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you again soon. I feel like it's likely that we wrap this up next week. We'll figure something out regardless. Pretty sure that the next thing that I want to start playing is what is it called? Shadow Gambit, the Cursed Crew. But depending on how things shake out, maybe we run 2 games. I mean, like, the thing is that, like, I'm really eagerly anticipating Old Skies coming out, which is, like, next month. So, like, I don't know. Maybe we do some other short thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Appreciate everyone watching and being here. Until I next see you, remember to stay safe and that you are Clawsome.